The world outside your window still not great, but here on Post Show Recaps, everything is super. And oh my God, how about a supersized episode of Everything is Super for you? I'm Josh Wigler. We remain in the end game now. Kevin Mahadeo sitting out this week. He's been snapped away to dust, but I am joined here by some friends who will help me avenge Kevin and will help the Avengers avenge each other as we embark on one last crazy survivor simulation for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, at least for the time being. It's the moment you've all been waiting for, Survivor Endgame. This is the crazy thing. Of course, this would not be possible without the great Mike Bloom. Mike, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. I feel like I'm like the invisible third hand of Everything is Super with just the number of times I've come out of the ether to slap or hold something. But I mean, it's a bit of a subjective statement to say this is the thing that everyone's been waiting for, because I think when people see what we have in front of us, they might question their commitment. But we on this podcast are more committed than ever.
Oh, yeah. It. No, I was about to say I'm questioning my commitment.
It's the opposite for you. Listen, you say brand steel, I say how high. So I am here no matter what the circumstances may be.
All right. Well, it wouldn't be a brand steel without a supersized brand steel without a supersized panel. Making his not post-show recaps debut, but making his Everything is Super debut. And I believe making his Survivor simulation Brant Steele debut. Correct me if I'm wrong. It is the legendary, prolific Chappell. Chappell, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, what an introduction. Yeah, I don't know when I hit legendary and prolific status, but I'm definitely around a lot right now.
A modern legend. Yeah.
Sure, in real time.
We're watching
this is my first Survivor's simulation, and I'm very happy to be here. I think I'm a willing hostage this time. I think we're going to be in here for a long time, and right now I'm good.
I'm good. So the Stockholm syndrome is already kicked in even before we get into the actual hostage situation.
Yes, I'm obsessed with my with the people who have kidnapped me, and I'm here for the ride now.
Well, look, it's kind of like in the world of Avengers Endgame. Nobody asked for that, right? Like nobody asked for half of the population of the universe to be snapped away, except for Thanos and his minions. And the Avengers are just left to deal with what they've been dealt. Sort of how we have been left to deal with the very luxurious problem that there are so many characters in Avengers Endgame. It is the crowning number one ranked movie in the Everything is Super rewatch,
and in the box office,
and in the box office, and in life. And like, if we've already set the tone that we're doing these Survivor Brant Steels, like mark the beginnings and endings of phases here on Everything is Super, we've got to do it here for Avengers Endgame. But how is that humanly possible when like the call sheet for Avengers Endgame has like at least 24 people? Well, I'm so glad you asked that question, because the answer to that question is that we will do a Survivor simulation featuring 24 contestants. That's right. Avengers Endgame translates to Survivor Endgame in the Australian Survivor format, which means 24 different competitors vying for the very real sole Survivor title here in the final Everything is Super Marvel Cinematic Universe Survivor simulation, at least for now, and I would expect for a very long time.
For a very long time, at least. They guys are coming out with movies, at least, first to warrant more Brant Steels. But yeah, I mean, Chris Hemsworth is jolly right now. We are going down under. For those of you that don't know, if you're a big Survivor fan, Australia, they did their own version of Survivor back into the 2000s, but they really rolled it back out starting in 2016. That has become its own sort of cultural juggernaut within Australia and the larger Survivor community. We are very lucky that the folks at Brant Steele have created a simulation for Australian Survivor that features 24 contestants. I want to say 26 episodes. And it was a perfect opportunity to say, like, well, look at the poster for Avengers Infinity War. Look at how many characters are on there. It's, we've had so much trouble cutting down characters in the past. And so we're pulling like a Super Smash Brothers and saying, basically, everybody is here. This is going to be long. this might even be broken up into 2 parts.
We don't know.
Much like the final Avengers movie.
So I was going to ask Chappell, what is your prediction? Certainly the people who are listening to this podcast or watching it, we've got the video up at postshowrecaps.com. People who are listening or watching along know whether or not this is a part 1 of to be determined parts, or if we were crazy enough to see this all the way through. At this early stage in our infancy, as we are but young children who time has been traveled through us.
Little baby-headed
baby Paul Rudds in our little Ant-Man suits. Where do you think we're going to do the whole thing today? What do you think, Chappell?
I think we're going to have a good time.
Good answer.
I think we're going to have a good time, but if it went 2 parts, it's probably fitting. The last Avengers, the last part of the Avengers saga was in 2 parts, so let's see what happens. But I could see it. I could see us, breaking it into 2 parts just for our own sanity.
Yeah.
Might have to use the restroom at some point.
Oh yeah, I think bathroom breaks are permitted. There are 3 of us on the podcast, so if anyone needs to get up at any point, we can call that. Absolutely, and the show will continue. Mike, this is Australian Survivor format, which is 24 contestants and how many episodes?
So 26 episodes, something that Australian Survivor has instituted to the chagrin of the audience. There are non-elimination twists. So not every episode will someone go home. Now, it's not just going to be like, nobody's going home tonight. There'll be some sort of thing involved, or someone gets swapped over to another tribe, or someone gets voted on, onto a certain island or something. So it's not like an episode's going to be devoid of action, but yeah, we got a whole chunk of Survivor to talk about. So it's really going to test the limits of our bladders, of our creativity, of our mental fortitude, which was already questionable to begin with. But I'm excited. I've been doing these for probably like 2 or 3 years at this point, and this is probably the biggest test that I personally have gotten.
I'm so nervous that makes me so nervous. And I kind of walked into this very casually, like, oh, it's a Sunday, time to podcast. And it's like, oh, right, we're doing an Australian Survivor. And so I settled in and I was like, this is going to be long. The merge happens at which episode, Mike?
Probably I think 14 or 15 episodes in. So, like a regular US Survivor season is the pre-merge.
But
we're talking some fun stuff. We're talking Survivor, which is on right now. We're talking Avengers, which aren't around right now. So we're bringing back some pop culture zeitgeist in the conversation.
All right. Anybody have anything that they need to get off their chests before we destroy our brains with Survivor Endgame?
Yes, I do. I have watched every season of American Survivor, and I've never watched a season of Australian Survivor.
Oh, this is going to be fun then. So this is
so you will see real-time reactions from me with these twists.
Like a casual assessment, which I sort of did with some various RHP podcasters with Big Brother earlier, where I'm going to have to outline real-life twists that happen in Australian Survivor and get your reaction, Chappell.
Yes, I avoided the show because they said there was 24 people on it. So I said, oh my gosh, I'm not doing that. Yeah. And now here I am.
Look at you. I wonder if this would have happened for you if you had just watched Australian Survivor. Maybe
I would have known to say no.
This is like some Final Destination bullshit. Like you were destined to be here. It's a lot, Mike. I think you're going to have to raise the flag on any times we're encountering something that is unique to the Australian Survivor format. Of course, people who listen to post show recaps and Everything is Super, they're not all Survivor fans. I think if you've listened to the Survivor Simulation episodes of the Everything is Super podcast, you're at least familiar with the concept at this point. But this is, it's like this is going to be an epic battle to the death between a lot of friends and one enemy, and a lot of friends who are going to become enemies to see who is the king or queen of all the Avengers, who will be the last Avengers standing. I think also a great opportunity for us to eulogize some of these great heroes on our way through. Take one final look back at some of these characters, especially the ones who are going to be leaving the MCU here with Avengers Endgame. Please don't let Iron Man be the first boot. That would be tragic.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
That'd be hilarious.
It would be pretty funny. It would be messed up on a lot. All right, let's get into this. We've got 2 tribes here on Survivor Endgame. And again, you can watch along with us on post-show recaps on the main page. We will link out to this video as well in the show notes. And we also have a link out to the Brant Steele page so you can follow along with the Brant Steele yourself if you prefer to listen in audio form. Without further ado, let's introduce the tribes. Pretty cleanly divided, I would say, Mike Bloom. We begin with a tribe that we are calling the Leftovers.
Yes. The mystery has been let be, but now it has been uncovered as to how we are dividing these tribes. Endgame puts it pretty nice, right? Like you said, it's those that were survived the snap versus those that, as you'll see on the other tribe, either snapped or unfortunately died in the course of these two movies, not at Thanos' fingers. So it's this is its own internal divide. I'm sure Jeff Probst would be, or Stan Lee, I guess, who is the host of this, would sort of be like, as a leftover, how do you handle adversity? Because they have dealt with their own stuff through 5 years in various circumstances. They all have various histories with each other. We finally, for the first time since the Age of Ultron, and for the first time since the first simulation that we did, have our big three back together: and Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. Throw some OG Avengers in there as well, with Hulk, Hawkeye, and Black Widow too, and it really does seem like an old school reunion with some new school players added on. So spoiler alert, we're gonna stay in these tribes for quite a while. I'd say about 6 or 7 episodes. So it'll be interesting to see how these people interact with each other.
All right, so the Leftovers lineup is the one and only regular sized man. I mean, Ant-Man is going to be on the Leftovers tribe.
Fresh from the quantum realm.
He's out of the quantum realm. He's been spending about 5 hours there, even though it was really 5 years. Black Widow is here. She is hanging out. She's eating her peanut butter sandwich and fueling up before the big game.
And we should also say, obviously, a lot of these characters have been used in our previous simulations. Black Widow last time was our Rob G. Otis, came in 3rd place.
Oh, that's right.
In Survivor Civil War, which was a token sheen simulation. So she just missed out on the final two.
Just missed it. Captain America, who's been a big player in these Survivor simulations, if I do recall.
Yeah, he was the last hero standing in Earth's Mightiest Heroes versus Villains. Didn't do so well. Got voted out pre-merge, so I think he's looking for some redemption, and he's already got the Survivor beard going on.
He's got the Survivor beard coming into the game. Carol Danvers, Chappell, Captain Marvel, is bursting out of space and hanging out with the Leftovers here.
It's good to have her back. Short haircut, Captain Marvel, right? Like with the new badass.
Yeah, I tried to figure out which picture of her to use because like the Space Hawk is by far like the coolest look, but it's also we see her in this.
To go longer hair so she could do like the top knot, so she could do like the classic like Survivor bun. Channel all of her power.
What I'm
Carol
intrigued
amazing.
Though is the argument is that Captain Marvel is the most OP character in the MCU at this point. I wonder how that will carry over. Will she be the most dominant person on her tribe?
Well, Carol
OP, like bag of tricks OP, like she's gonna have like the hidden immunity idol and secret, the vote steal and all the things.
She could. She's got all the powers. So if these Leftovers are smart, and also Captain Marvel, she's one of the ones that they've got the least amount of history with. So
she's new.
She's new to the block. Hawkeye's here.
With that loving haircut that I'm assuming is going to grow in so well as he spends time in on the island.
Here's Hawkeye. He's showing up after just like murdering a bunch of people.
Yeah, last time I played like a Hawkeye, this time I'm going to play like a Ronin.
Yeah. So Hawkeye has shown up. Hulk, Smart Hulk. And if Smart Hulk is smart, he's gonna keep the glasses off and he's gonna pretend to be Angry Hulk, Chappell, because I think if people know that he is Smart Hulk, and they already know about his physical strength, that's just too much of a threat to keep for too long in the game.
Yeah, person with glasses always equals like strategist on Survivor. So I could see him like putting the glasses on and everybody thinking he's a super fan or a big, strategic threat or robotics engineer. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But I think he should leave him at home as well.
Hulk has seen every episode of Australian Survivor, Survivor South Africa.
Do you think people are going to try to get selfies with him on the island?
Yeah. He's
and
they're dabbing with Smart Hulk. Very popular player. Iron Man is here. This is a pre-sacrifice Iron Man. An early pick, Mike, I think, for fan favorite. The fans love him 3,000.
Yeah, I would say so. He has a family now that he's fighting for since last time we saw him. So, he has some history with this tribe, especially unifying once more with Cap. He and Cap were the sources of the two tribes in Civil War, and they both, I believe, went out pre-jury, or Tony went out like right at the merge.
Yeah,
I think so. They both have some redemption here, and this is their last shot. It's like Survivor winners at war. They said this is their last go around, and so hopefully Tony's going to make the best of it.
Whatever it takes. Nebula is here. Is this the good Nebula or the bad Nebula?
Yeah, I don't know if this is 2023 Nebula or 2014 Nebula.
Yeah.
Unless they merge into one and the same.
The events of the game will bear it out for us.
Yeah, well, it's interesting though, because I mean, this is the one who, you talk about friends and enemies. She's like, I think the most like temporary bond of friendship between these people, where she was just sort of like dragged along in the beginning of Endgame to sort of work alongside all these people during the flash forward. So I would not be surprised if she's like the first to bail, out the tribal lines.
Yeah, Nebula is anybody but me for sure. Like, she's like, I'm working with my dad. Now I'm not. Now I'm working with you guys. But if it looks bad, Nebula's jumping ship first.
Yeah, she's got no loyalties here. Okoye is here, holding it down in Wakanda, showing up for the Leftovers tribe. I think a potentially lethal player here in Survivor Endgame. I'd be very worried about Okoye. She's a badass.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see Okoye, how she does. It looks like there's no T'Challa on this tribe, so we'll see what happens with her just kind of being a lone wolf this time.
But it seems like in Avengers Endgame that there is like sort of like this power alliance between Black Widow, Captain Marvel, Nebula, Okoye, Rocket, and War Machine. Will that hold?
Yeah, basically like the Hollow Conference alliance that we saw in that brief flash forward.
Will that hold? Rocket Raccoon is here. Rabbit. Rabbit, yeah. If they get hungry enough, Chappelle, are they going to try to eat Rocket?
Who's listening to this podcast? Because he'd be done if it was me.
Do you think Rocket has smuggled in any arms through his carcass into the game?
Yes. He brought matches in ways that you don't want to know about. The God of Thunder has shown up. Thor is here. He is not in his Lebowski form, it looks like, based on the headshot, unless this is like a dated headshot that he just wanted to use for the cameras.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if this becomes like a Colby in Heroes versus Villains, where he became Superman in a fat suit playing Fortnite in Norway.
I think it probably wouldn't hurt him to put on a little weight. We talked about this before. You want a little happy weight for when you go on the island, so that you can burn some calories without dying. So hopefully he did put on more than beer. I think that was kind of his primary weight gaining catalyst the first time. So.
He's playing for the reward challenges. He just wants to get that beer.
Another.
Yeah, people are not going to be happy with his reward challenge etiquette, I feel like.
West Nalian.
Final member of the Leftovers is War Machine. Rhodey is on the team, and the headshot of War Machine is sure to make Kevin Mahadeo very happy. It's him holding out his hands, miming out, "Why don't we just strangle baby Thanos in his crib?" Which is I was thinking,
it'd be fun to get War Machine in this suit, but then part of me is like, no, I gotta get the screenshot of Don Cheadle miming to choke a baby.
Yeah, it's definitely his best moment in the movie for sure.
That's the look on his face before they decide to eat Rabbit. I mean,
can we just choke Rabbit? Can we just
just get him?
Yeah,
we're starving you guys.
All right, so that's tribe number 1, the Leftovers. Let's talk about tribe number 2. The Snapped. This is a mixture of people who are either were dusted in Avengers Infinity War, maybe died in Avengers Infinity War, and of course the person responsible for so much of that bloodbath. Let's go through it. Black Panther leading the way here. King T'Challa, first one through the Doctor Strange gate during Avengers Endgame. First one on the Snapped tribe.
Yeah, I mean, I know you said Tony, but this has to be, I think, the far and away fan favorite. Unfortunately, due to recent events, Black Panther did not do so well during Civil War, but now he truly feels like a king, right? Like he has gone through everything. Now he's back. This is him. I think now he played like a kid last time. He played like a prince. Now he can play like a king, and I think he's going to do some good stuff here.
I'm stoked to have Black Panther here. Chappelle again. I'm sorry we didn't have you on the Black Panther podcast. I did receive a message from Chappelle being like, "Why?"
and this was before I was booked 72 times.
I know.
This was me like, "Hey, I know you don't know who I am, but screw you, guy."
Yeah, pretty much. Now I know better. The person responsible for those the teleportation tricks, Doctor Strange, the one who saw how all of this would play out, the one shot at victory. So
that's the question. Did he purposely put himself on this season knowing this is the 1 in 4 billion whatever chance that he wins here?
Yeah.
Right. Or is he just playing, or does he already know the outcome and he's just playing for fun?
Yeah.
Everyone else is out here like risking their lives and, putting it all on the line, putting their families, literally having their families on their back. And Doctor Strange is out here for a good time. He knows the ending.
I can't wait for him to pull an Angelina and go, Jeff Probst, I've come to bargain.
Yeah. Jeff, I've come to bargain. Sam Wilson, Falcon, the new Captain America, before he picks up the shield, I think, here on the Snapped. And we should be living in a world where we already know what Falcon and the Winter Soldier looks like. Alas, much like how the people in Avengers Endgame didn't choose the world they were forced to live in, we didn't really have a lot of say in the world that we're currently inhabiting. So we do not know what Falcon and the Winter Soldier looks like as of this recording time. Chappelle, are you stoked for that one? Are you pumped for Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I am. I'm a big Sam fan. I don't think they did him justice, in the first go round. So I'm really hoping that he gets a little level up in this next iteration of the Winter Soldier and Captain America. So we'll see. But I like Sam before, the Marvel Cinematic Universe iterations of him. So hopefully he does it well today. I know he has a few friends on this cast, but, I don't think he's in a great spot. So we'll see.
Tight spot, I think, for Sam Wilson here. Gamora, who was not dusted, was just killed the old-fashioned way. We are including Gamora on this tribe here on the Snapped. Mike, you have to assume that a few things snapped on the fall down in Vormir.
Quite a few. I know people were asking, where is Gamora? And she is right here on this tribe. But
I was asking, why is Gamora?
But this is, I mean, she has a bit of an axe.
I don't know if people are asking, how is Gamora?
They really don't. They go to the 5 W's, right? Yeah. And they don't go all the way there with the investigatory journalism. But yeah, Gamora has quite a number of axes to grind. To Chappelle's point, I think she's also someone who has a good friend, very, very good friend on this, and also someone who she is not very happy to see right now. So she might be involved in some drama very early on.
The Scarlet Witch is here, Chappelle. She is talk about overpowered. The person who almost single-handedly destroyed Thanos in Avengers Endgame. Scarlet Witch, do you think she's coming in hot? Is she going to play low key, or is she ready to? I mean, low key is not playing, unfortunately, this season.
Sorry, Loki. Scarlet Witch, she has the ability to, play under the radar. We've seen her kind of fall into the background role in a couple of the films, but when it comes time to fight, she had Thanos making it rain, trying to save his own life. So we'll see what happens. I think, again, she's another person who has a very visible enemy on this tribe. She also has a huge ally. So I have high hopes for Scarlet Witch this time around.
I'm excited as well, and I think we'll be getting a lot of her on this podcast, both if not today, then in the very near future as well. Another friend from Wakanda, Shuri, is here, because I do think Endgame confirmed that she was part of the people who got snapped out of existence. Right there is the Avenge the Fallen
as well, like the posters that came out. But I'm excited for Shuri. I think Shuri is going to be that person who like builds so much stuff for the camp. Like, I think we're going to see the coconut vending machine happen. I think we're going to get like a state-of-the-art Avengers-like mansion built on the Snapped camp. Like, Shuri is a great asset to have. And I think if you give her a puzzle, like, she's going to demolish it as well.
Yeah. I feel like she's somebody you want to keep around pre-merge for sure, all the way through to the merge, because she's just going to make life so great. She's going to be so fun around camp. She's going to improve your camp. But then she's the end game threat. Like, Shuri is like a jury threat, like every single
Shuri on jury.
Yeah, I'd be very nervous to go up against Shuri.
Runaway Shuri.
Yeah.
Got it.
Spider-Man is here. Iron Man 2 kid, all grown up.
I unmasked him because Quentin already did. So it's okay. We can show that it is indeed Peter Parker.
Chappelle is Spider-Man, the kid from Iron Man 2, who shows up with the Iron Man mask at the world's Tony Stark festival.
No, that's absurd.
All right, so someone is filling out the Kevin Mahadeo position. All right, so Kevin, you are seen. You are seen. You are seen, Kevin. Star-Lord, I think, is really repping the Guardians in a big way. There's 1,000 Guardians, and we don't have enough room for everybody. So
I think the assumption is Drax is invisible, so nobody needs to cast him.
Yeah,
Groot is off playing his game. He couldn't be. And I think
Groot is everywhere, right? Groot is the island that they're playing.
And I think, Groot is actually where they hide the idols. Yes. He's the tree. And I think Mantis is Mantis is too empathetic, I feel like, for this game. I think she would have a tough time.
Well, that poor thing.
Yeah, she'd have a hard time with, I think, like the aftercare that Survivor necessitates, right?
You know what? Mantis is Dr. Jen. I think she's the psychiatrist on set who helps talk to the players.
Yeah,
Star-Lord, I'm already calling it now. There's going to be a huge blindside that they try to mount against Thanos, and Star-Lord is the one who ruins it and completely pisses everybody off.
He's worse.
Speaking of Thanos, it wouldn't be a party if Thanos wasn't here, and he is here. And on his shoulders, the weight of the world, Chappell. Thanos is all alone in terms of villainy. There are no other outright villains in this cast. Thanos is holding it all the way down. Can he do it? Is he without any friends out here? And can he move forward without friends? Or do all you need are Infinity Stones, immunity stones, perhaps?
Yeah, he's gonna have to collect at least 5 immunity stones to survive this one.
He has the lack of hair for it, so I think we could see like a Thancian. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Russell Thance.
Not Russell Thance. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, it doesn't look great for him, not at all. But you wonder if the target is so big that it disappears, right? Like it's like there's always time to go get Thanos. At any given time, you can say, "Hey, you guys, let's just get him out." So maybe he's able to play with that a little bit and move forward throughout the game. I don't want to see him go that far, honestly. But I think it'd be fun to see him navigate. I really do. So. Can anybody trust an alliance with Thanos? Really?
I don't think so. I don't think
he can trust them either. Yeah.
Unless he's got he's got them under the influence of one of his stones, if it's reality bending or whatever.
Well, that is interesting. Like he has that ability to broker with it. I also wonder though, the Thanos that we're encountering here is this 2018 Thanos who was like retired post snap. I used the stones to destroy the stones and is just like, playing with house money, or is this 2014 Thanos bloodthirsty AF in pursuit of power?
Yeah.
Thanos is hard.
I think that's a good question. Is he like the like overexcited, super arrogant, really on the hunt for the stones version of Thanos, or is he like he's gotten fat off of alien fruit Thanos?
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out. How's his arm? We'll find out. Vision is here. One of Thanos's victims who is killed in Infinity War, does not appear in Endgame, will be showing up in WandaVision. Again, very excited about that here for the Everything is Super podcast. And even though he's not in Endgame, Mike, this continues a tradition of the Survivor simulations here on Everything is Super, because sadly there's just too many characters. We couldn't include General Thunderbolt Ross, who is such a legend in the Survivor simulator here. But Vision kind of holds it down in another way.
Yeah, so spoiler alert, Vision was the winner of Survivor Civil War.
Yes.
He was able to beat Sharon Carter in the end. And so much like Thunderbolt Ross won our first season and earned a spot on the second season, ends up happening that the winner of our second season sort of earned a spot on the third season here. And so we'll see. Thunderbolt Ross made a huge crater in last season. So I'll be intrigued to see if Vision does something similar here. If he feels like, I already had my win. Let me just have fun with this. He is playing with his murderer and his lover, so we'll see how that whole thing works out. But I'll
weird
be
love
intrigued.
triangle, yeah.
And that's the thing. He also has an immunity stone already in his head, which I feel like it's cheating, right? Like you can't come into the game with an idol already.
Yeah, maybe it's like a depowered idol, though. It's a fake idol.
He was like PG, like sneaking in the flint.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a piece of flint. It's not an
idol. 2 more on the Snapped Tribe. The Wasp is here, fresh off of her star-making turn in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think a stealth candidate to go under the radar, considering she can shrink down to bite.
Yeah, she's definitely, I think, stands out the least, I would say, on this tribe, maybe of the entire cast. But I think that also lends credence to her going pretty far, because I don't know who's exactly coming for Wasp right now.
Yeah. If anybody has any like fly jokes to make about the Wasp, I say now is your time to do it. Otherwise, hold your peace forever.
I'm not touching that at all.
let's just leave that right there. The Winter Soldier rounds out the cast. Bucky Barnes is here. This is kind of an awkward spot for Bucky. He really only has Sam. I guess like he and Black Panther might be tight at this point because of the time that he has spent in Wakanda. So maybe he's tight with Shuri as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You think so? Do you think that they were friends?
Did you see his hair when he came out of that little?
That's true. That's
oh
true.
my God, the Wakandans hooked him up. If I'm him, I know he's at home. He's got the Black Panther. He's got Shuri. He's got Sam. Listen, he's with the black team this time, so we're gonna see what happens. But
Okay.
I've never seen someone's hair bouncing and behaving like that. The Kamoya beads did him justice. So
I think he's gonna have a great island look if he gets deep into the game.
Oh,
my
yeah,
God.
he's gonna
It's
become
gonna be
so
beautiful.
island hot.
Yeah.
I think
Winter Soldier is an early candidate to be the most island hot. For
Can't wait to see Bryce's calendar. He's gonna be like right on the front of it.
Bucky Barnes is April.
Very, very good. All right. Well, that's the cast. This is Survivor Endgame, and we are going to play the game. And we're going to begin with a twist, a race to the shore. Tribe members are going to race to grab items for the campsite on top of a barge. Once both tribes are finished gathering items, they're going to race to the shore. They got to grab a bag of rice hanging on an A-frame, and the first tribe to grab the rice bag wins. Mike Bloom.
And so, of course, it ends up being the leftovers.
Yeah.
End up, leaving the leftovers to the swapped. And actually, this is a pretty big one because it was an all or nothing where the leftovers won a bag of rice and everything they took off the barge. The swapped is not allowed to bring anything back to camp. They will. It's not as bad as the have-nots that have started a couple of these seasons, but they are going to start with much less than the leftovers, which makes sense because the leftovers have had quite an amount of time to just build up a general supply of things that the swapped have not had the luxury of doing.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. The snapped have been blinked out of existence. They don't have creature comforts anymore. I think that they're just like lucky to be able to play Survivor, that they're back.
I'm worried though. Like looking at who just won this challenge, was there any world where they were going to beat Captain Marvel in a race?
No.
Yeah, no. Captain Marvel they just said, okay, Danvers, go take care of the rice. We're going to take our time clearing all this stuff up. Hulk is, you know what? Maybe Hulk did a sort of, what was the move that he does with Wolverine in the comics? Like maybe he did that. Or no, that's
Colossus.
That's Colossus.
Is the fastball special.
Yeah, so maybe he did that with like Captain Marvel or maybe Ant-Man or something. Just like
Toss rocket.
Yeah, just threw him, launched him like a football.
Yeah, I'm worried about the challenges moving forward. That doesn't look great.
It's not a great start. This is if you're rooting for underdogs here, you're having a tough break here at the start of the game. So the snap, they are not allowed to bring anything. They have to go back to their campsite with nothing. Who's the host? Who's the Jeff Probst or the Jonathan LaPaglia?
It's got to be Stan Lee, right?
Yeah, I'd like to believe that's true. I'd like to believe that's true.
I mean, he's seen every one of these movies. He's in all of them, so he's touched them all. So he could speak to it.
He's definitely at least the EP showrunner because he's a watcher. Like he's seen all the footage. He knows what all these people are up to Chappelle's point. So he's guiding that narrative.
Avengers ready. Excelsior.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's proceed. Let's see what's going on over at the Leftovers tribe. The idol is currently hidden. Oh, do we not get to find out what the alliances look like?
We will when after the immunity challenge.
Okay,
so
this
is just showing there's an idol that's hidden, and if anyone has found an idol in the first day or so.
All right, so let's see if the Snapped have had any better luck in terms of finding any idols. No, they have not. All right, so we're gonna go to our first reward challenge here.
So this is a special one. So basically, each tribe was given an opportunity to send 2 people into a fire making contest, and so this is sort of like pick your representatives, and I guess we'll see determining which tribe won, who they sent, and how they did.
Okay, so it's a Flint challenge, and the winners are, hey, look at that, it's the Snapped.
Hey,
the Snapped have taken one, so we're feeling good about that.
So I would imagine it was probably like I could see Scarlet Witch is probably one of them at least, right? Because has probably the ability to produce the most kindling just naturally.
Well, it depends on we always wonder, are people allowed to bring their superpowers into this? There's a lot of candidates for who could have started the fire here.
Vision does have that flint on his forehead. So
that's true. You know what? Maybe it was Scarlet Witch and Vision.
Yeah, a terrible twosome right there.
I think probably a mistake that the Leftovers tribe put Clint Barton, Hawkeye, into the Flint Barton challenge.
Yeah,
he figured like I got the bow technique, I can start the fire that way.
But all he did was he kept shooting the sticks instead of rubbing them up against the string.
Hawkeye just never pulling his own weight. All right, let's proceed to the immunity challenge. Let's see what's going to happen here. First immunity challenge, Uprising is a victory for the leftovers. The surviving Avengers are going to walk into episode 1, and sure, they don't win Flint, but who needs Flint when you've got food, when you've got the bag of rice, and when you've got immunity to your name, Chappelle?
Yeah, and they got Clint. So who needs Flint when you got Clint? Yeah,
Hawkeye is thrilled. He's like, "Oh, I was in trouble."
Yeah,
he was.
And I think there's also an element of this where they had to construct a human pyramid to like reach a handle for their puzzle pieces. And I do feel like because of the benefit, again, of 5 years of experience, I think that the Snap tribe is going to be our sort of like scattered yet strong tribe, where I think they're still working on tribe unity. And the leftovers kind of have that on lock at this point.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, so the leftovers aren't going to have to worry. The people who briefly did not exist now very much exist, and one of them will not exist in this game for much longer. Let's see what's happening in terms of relationships over at the leftovers tribe. The idol remains hidden. Any events to speak of? A little bit of a slight bond between Iron Man and Rocket Raccoon. I think he came back from space like, I could have sworn that you were a Build-A-Bear this whole time. And I think he's really excited to find out that Rocket has sentience.
Who likes guns more than these two people? You know,
these
are
the
people.
Ones, you know,
they have a bond.
Maybe Bucky.
Yeah,
maybe Bucky. But yeah, these people can bond easily. Well, this raccoon and this person can bond relatively easily over just anarchy. You know, this love for like, you know, if we need to, we can blow it up. So I
love
think
to make fun of
that.
people. So like that's in Australian Survivor terms, Mike, are we looking at this as like a Luke and the Golden God? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, it could be like or an OG like Luke and Jericho thing where these are two sort of jokers who are willing to cause some chaos if and when they go to tribal council.
That's a little bit of a tease if you haven't watched Australian Survivor. We won't spoil anything further, but go watch Australian Survivor. There's some fun characters.
Yeah, I'm taking notes. Who is the Golden God?
The Golden God is a ridiculous person.
I'm no longer going by Chappelle. And I'll be now referred to as the Golden God himself.
Guys, I have bad news. Hulk and Rocket Raccoon have a small fight. I think Rocket did not appreciate getting thrown across the ocean by Smart Hulk.
Oh, no.
He's not happy about how that played out. I can assure
you got thrown again if they had an actual fight.
Now, is it small fight as in like just the stature of Rocket Raccoon? He is small, so it's just a small fight.
It's a height joke. The fight has lasting impact, probably because...
Oh, so Rocket makes a friend and an enemy all in the same day.
There's a lot going on for Rocket. So let's see
where Iron Man leans into this alliance.
Let's see what sort of alliances we've got. So we've got one alliance already. Captain America, the Hulk, Nebula, Thor, and War Machine are hanging tight with a loyalty of 5 for all across the board. There's not quite a majority in this tribe, but that's a solid voting block. Any surprises in this group?
I mean, what I could see like a beach people versus shelter people thing going on here, where maybe I could see these 5 would probably be the ones most likely to work on the shelter, right? As opposed to like your Rockets or your Iron Man just sort of walking off and doing whatever they like. These 5 are committed to the camp for various reasons. So it makes sense that, you know, Steve especially would be like, you guys want to like work together? Just pull our votes if and when we go to tribal council.
Yeah, he still doesn't trust Tony at this point. So that's the only major alliance over on the leftovers. Things are going to be interesting over at the Snapped as everybody's gearing up for tribal council. Idol is hidden. There is a little slight bond between Doctor Strange and Gamora. I think Doctor Strange is like, Gamora, I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Stephen Strange. I'm a doctor. I understand what you have recently been through. I have the ability to see alternate realities and see across time. So like, I was not there on Boromir, but like I was there-ish.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
And like, I've seen like what your relationship with Thanos is like, and that's some bullshit. And I just want you to know, like, I'm here for you if you need anything.
Well, I think they also are dealing with spirits in a manner of speaking, and that, you know, Gamora has died and Doctor Strange can, you know, phase himself in and out of existence using his little spirit ghost.
Yeah. Is it possible that this Gamora is her like astral projection? This is like the Goldstone Gamora is here. And so Doctor Strange is like, yeah, I can vibe with you. I know what's up. Like, I've seen that stuff. Like, I've been out of my own body. It's been very weird.
Doctor Strange is in a cool spot. He's seen the movie and no one else has.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
He can speak to everybody else's life. He
I
can
like
bond
your
with
theory,
anybody.
Barry.
He's seen it all. Yeah.
I like your theory that he knows exactly how this is all going to play out. Whether or not it's win or lose, he's got all the spoilers. He's like, hang with me. I've got the spoilers. I'll tell you what's going on. There is a strong bond between Gamora and Spider-Man.
Uh-oh, Star-Lord swaying right now.
Yeah, she's going after another Peter. This is not Peter's
oh my God.
will. Yeah.
Spider-Mora is the thing now.
I heard another Peter and I had to clutch my pearls. Oh my God.
Exactly. Maybe that's the thing. She's like, Peter, why did you say that name?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
She's got her sights on a different Peter.
The young lad.
Yeah. The young lad is showing up, rising up, Spider-Man, a strong bond between Gamora and Spider-Man. It has a lasting impact.
Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
First, Spider-Man says that Footloose was never popular. Now he's bonding with his girl. Peter Quill is not happy.
Robbing the cradle here. Let's see what's happening with Vision and Falcon. Major fight between Vision and Falcon.
Wow.
I wonder what that's about.
Maybe like some feelings over like who's a better flyer, who flies better, who's more useful in the flight department.
Well, I wonder if it could also be a thing of like who's going to lead the tribe in the absence of someone like Iron Man or Captain America, and I think they both want to step into that position. Vision's like, I'm Vision, and Falcon's like, no, I'm the new Captain America, and so I could see a bit of jostling for power here.
I think it's possible.
Right, and Vision being a winner already, he's like, I've done this before. I've been here.
Exactly, I have experience.
Right.
I know what's up here. I've done this before. Lasting impact in that fight. Here's the alliance on the Snapped Tribe. Black Panther, Gamora, and Spider-Man is the first alliance we've got here on the Snapped Tribe.
Wow, Black Panther, big old third wheel in this budding showmance.
Yeah.
I don't understand, but Black Panther is on the tribe with a couple of allies, so maybe he's trying to lay low and want some outside bonds because the pregame is real, so people know that these, relationships exist. So hopefully he's just trying to spread himself around, meet some new people, and he's found himself the third wheel in the showmance. That's not a horrible spot this early in the game.
Yeah, how much vibranium has Black Panther to offer to his competitors in the preseason?
That wouldn't be his thing. But he, maybe because he's so rich in vibranium, he's like, I'm just here for the adventure, and like I recognize this love story between you, Gamora, and Spider-Man. Many people will not recognize your love across the world, but you can come to Wakanda. We will protect you. Maybe he just wants to show up.
No judgment in Wakanda.
No judgment. So that's the only alliance on the Snap Tribe, which could either be very good for these three people, or it could be very bad that like everyone else will rally together and target one of them. At which point, I will rage quit this podcast. I will not actually rage quit the podcast. All right, let's proceed to Tribal Council.
Let me also say right at the top here, this is getting divided up into two parts because we are 45 minutes in and we have reached the first vote.
Yeah, very likely that we will have to do this multiple parts. All right. Oh my God, I'm very nervous. All right, the Snapped Tribe at Tribal Council. No one has any eligible items, so it's just a straight vote. Do we have any predictions? It's kind of hard. We don't have a lot of data to go on.
I mean, I think on paper you would want to say that Thanos is in trouble, to Chappell's point, just like due to his previous history. But it is Brand Steel. Anything and everything can happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Star-Lord might be in some trouble too. We see he's not in an alliance with his natural ally, and he did ruin the movie. So I just think this could be his moment.
Maybe this is the Gamora who came back and like was like disgusted with Star-Lord. She's like, this is the person I fell in love with, and then she saw Spider-Man. She's like, yeah, I want that.
This is the one. No, I want him to go for this guy.
That's the Peter I like.
Yeah, this 15-year-old kid, I'm into him.
Little Peter. That's what I want.
Do you think it's like Survivor Africa where it's like two Peters, so one goes by Peter Quill and one goes by Little Peter?
Yeah, I think that's right. All right. If anyone has an idol, now would be the time to play it. No one's got one, so it's just time to vote. Stanley will read the votes. Here we go. First vote, The Vision.
Oh, no.
Second vote, Vision.
Wow. Did they get rid of the previous winner this quickly?
I know. Mike, there's about 100 more votes to read.
That's true. We got 10 more.
All right. Third vote goes to The Vision.
There's no way this is unanimous. This is crazy.
The fourth vote goes to The Vision.
Wow. Now, this could be a blindside. This could not be entirely on Vision.
Fifth vote, The Vision.
Wow.
6th vote. The Vision.
All right,
so it is either a tie or Vision is gone.
Or Vision got obliterated in the first vote here.
7th vote. Shuri.
Oh no!
8th vote.
No,
Shuri.
what is happening?
Is it gonna be a 6-6 tie?
It's insane.
9th vote goes to Shuri. So that's 6 votes Vision, 3 votes Shuri. Shuri's like, what did I do?
Yeah.
Right.
I
What
built
are
your
these?
shelter, you assholes. 10th vote. Shuri. 4 votes to Shuri.
Oh my goodness.
It's 5 votes Shuri, 6 votes Vision.
Oh my god, are we getting a tie on the
1
first vote?
left. It's
Wow!
a tie. Our first tribal council is a tie between Vision and Shuri, Chappell.
That's insane. Is this a product of that fight between Falcon and Vision?
They all came up with teams. Now it's the internal civil war within the one tribe.
Team Falcon versus Team Vision.
Oh my gosh.
That's wild.
All right, so now we get a revote between the other 10 people.
Yeah, so there's going to be a revote, and unless there is something different in the revote, we could go to rocks, and our first tribal would be insane.
Only in Brain Steel. Only in Brain
appropriate
Steel.
start to Survivor Endgame. Certainly part 1 of multiple parts. All right. Final count was 6 votes Shuri and 6 votes Vision. Shuri gets another vote on the revote.
Yeah, let's see how scattered these people are on the revote when they think they might go to rocks.
Another vote for Shuri on the revote. Yet another.
Whoa, are they just piling
Shuri.
votes onto
3
her?
votes to Shuri. 1 to Vision. 3 votes Shuri, 1 vote Vision. 2 votes Vision. 3 votes Vision. We're tied 3 Shuri, 3 Vision.
4 left.
Vision, 4 votes Vision. 5 votes Vision.
People might have, I think people flipped.
We are either going to go to a rock draw or Vision is about to go here. The 9th vote goes to Vision.
It.
The tribe has spoken.
So the final vote count was 7 votes Vision, 3 votes Shuri. So not including Vision, 2 people swapped their votes in the revotes. Scared of those rocks, scared to go home as the first one out. And the previous winner goes from first to worst in this season.
So that's a wild ride for the Vision from first to worst here. A journey that we hear about a lot. On the votes, Black Panther voted for his sister.
T'Challa, what are you doing?
Twice.
It's a heel turn for sure. I wasn't expecting that.
He's trying to shake shit up. He's like, listen, I don't want you to predict what I've got going on here, and people see us as a pair. Like, I got to throw some votes onto Shuri. Maybe that's what's going on.
Give it a year. There, and then you can go further in the game. People probably think they're fine. He's like, let's cut her out real quick. So,
it could be a Shuri idea. Shuri's like, throw some votes on me.
So maybe then some other people betray her because maybe she didn't expect it to be 6-6 in that perspective. Otherwise, that's like galaxy brain level thinking.
Well, she is the smartest person in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, so it's not out of her depth to come up with such a crazy plan. I kind of like
the whole thing. Yeah, if she wins the whole thing, put a pin in this moment as her like a defining moment in the montage.
Getting her brother to vote for her at the first tribal council.
Who I told you to vote for.
Doctor Strange voted for Vision twice. Falcon voted for Vision twice. Gamora started with her vote for Shuri, but then changed it to Vision.
So she got spooked by the rocks.
Obviously, Wanda voted for Shuri both times. Shuri voted for Vision both times, or actually just the once because she couldn't vote the second time. Spidey voting for Shuri both times. That makes sense given his Gamora and Black Panther connection.
So it seemed like that trio of the showmans plus Black Panther voted for Shuri. Maybe T'Challa went along begrudgingly about it, but Gamora got spooked. I wonder was Thanos the other one who voted? No, Thanos voted
for Vision. He killed him once, and then he reversed time and killed Vision again.
Yeah, is that like a steal a vote or like an extra vote? Like you can rewind time and vote again?
I think that's what he was trying to do here.
So I think it looks like Vision voted for Shuri. Obviously, Wasp voted for Vision. Was Bucky the other one to flip? It looks like it.
Bucky flipped. Bucky originally voted for Shuri, and then he's like, "Oh wait, no, I'm supposed to vote for people to get voted out of the game." He didn't understand.
Well, I think what happened was Stan Lee said a couple of key words in a journal that he found, and Mercer Soldier's like, "Oh yeah, I guess I have to vote for Vision instead."
Benign. No. All right. So Vision, the tribe has spoken. Vision, who is a character that we will obviously not talk about a lot here on Survivor Endgame, but I think is somebody who we're going to get a lot of talk about in the weeks ahead when WandaVision shows up on Disney Plus. Chappelle, are we hyped for WandaVision?
Kinda. So
yeah. It's a weird concept, right?
Right.
Yeah, like they're in a sitcom, right? They're dead. Oh, he's dead, kind of. And they're
dead. Like, so how is he back? We don't know.
Right. Yeah. So I'm interested to see what it looks like. And then I'll make my decision of how hyped I am for it.
I don't know. I'm excited for it because I think, one of my favorite, comic book storylines that I've read is like the whole House of M thing where Scarlet Witch essentially imagines like her own alternate Marvel universe where, like, for example, Peter Parker is married, is not married to Mary Jane. He's married to, now her name escapes me, but one of his previous loves. Like it's basically one entire storyline of what if. And that makes me excited if this indeed is just like more of a, I don't know, depression-fueled post-Endgame Scarlet Witch fantasy series where she is just going through time and like almost psychologically evaluating herself. Plus, the cast is awesome. We get the return of Monica Rambeau. We're going to get, say what you want to about Darcy Lewis with Kat Dennings, but we're going to get Jimmy Woo, who I know, Josh, you were a fan of from Ant-Man and the Wasp. And then Catherine Hahn making her sort of like MCU debut. The cast is top-notch, so that makes me excited for whatever the hell this is going to be.
Cool format. I'm curious, and I'm mostly just like, give me more Marvel. I miss it. Give me something new. I want something new. So, adios, Vision. I think appropriate that Vision is the first death here on the board.
Oh, yeah.
Gamora survived him.
Yeah, that's right. So that is it for Vision. And yeah, I think at this point we can all agree that this is going to be at least a 2-part podcast. This is going to be a 2-part podcast for sure. I think we're going to aim for the merge here.
Think about the merge.
I do think that also means we will hold back on releasing the link to the Brant Steele, so no one can spoil the outcome.
Unless you're Doctor Strange.
If you want to visualize this, you'll have to consult the video version. Doctor Strange has the spoilers, so go slide into Doctor Strange's DMs and see if he'll be willing to share the goods. All right, let's see what's going to happen here in episode 2. What's happening at the leftovers? There's still this alliance between Cap, Hulk, Nebula, Thor, and War Machine. Do we want to come up with a name for these people? I don't really have one that comes easily to mind.
Yeah,
it's sort of
I don't know.
Ragtag.
They're all over the place. Yeah. They're all over the place.
Could they be the Revengers since it has Hulk and Thor on it? Like the new Revengers?
It could be that. This is the Captain America squad, I think, right now, right? Like this is Cap's crew. He's
Cap's
clearly
crew. I like that.
Clearly the leader of this group. Here's what's happening over at the Snapped, that alliance between Black Panther, Gamora, and Spider-Man. They are not rattled by what just happened. They remain on board with.
Do you think Gamora fessed up that she was one of the votes to flip, or do you think she's going to remain mum about that?
I think that she's probably gonna, I think look at their loyalty. I think that they're pretty open with each other, I would say.
I mean, they did fall once up. I believe it was 5-6-6 during the first vote. Now it's 4-5-5. So there's a bit of a step down in their plan failing here.
Yeah. Falling a little bit from Vormir type of height. Reward challenge: slip, slop, slap. One member from each tribe goes down a slippery course. They compete for a ball. First person to get the ball into their goal square scores a point. What a weird challenge.
If you remember, this is the one where it's the slip and slide, but it's also a physical aspect. Australian Survivor challenges are very physical, like beat each other up. And this is one where, memorably, I will not name names, but one contestant tried to like get their opponent by pulling down their shorts, their underwear, and just bare-assed. The guy was able to grab the ball and still get in his goal nonetheless.
Very Sugar Kuiper of her. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Yeah,
all right, let's see who wins this challenge. It is indeed the leftovers.
Yeah, I mean, listen, who's gonna, maybe Thanos would be the one to go up against Hulk, but like he would be a beast in these types of challenges.
Yeah,
I think so. And Captain Marvel's like James Clement. So
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
like 6 people on her.
Fishing gear and an outrigger canoe. So we now know who was on the other outrigger, Mike.
Oh, finally. It was the leftovers of
It was
Marvel
the leftovers
Cinematic
of Marvel
Universe.
Cinematic Universe. All right, immunity challenge called Hammer Time, which without even reading the description, you would have to imagine this is a favorite for Thor.
Unless he throws it. Not the hammer, but the challenge.
And Cap is here too. He is also worthy. I will be very surprised if the leftovers lose this one. And they win.
Yeah.
The leftovers win. Of course they do. They've got Cap. They've got Thor, which means 2 immunity wins in a row for the leftovers. A bad start for the Snap, Chappelle.
Yeah, it almost sounds a little rigged a little bit for them. I mean, who names a challenge Hammer Time and then gives it to this group? They have Cap, they have Thor, they have Hulk. Like, okay, we'll see if the other squad could ever win anything after this.
I agree. All right, so the leftovers. What's happening over at the leftovers? The Idol. It's currently hitting. Something's happening with Black Widow. Ooh, a major meltdown.
I think she found out that her movie is getting pushed back again and just was really pissed off.
Wait, you're killing me off and then you're giving me a movie?
In a pandemic?
In a pandemic?
In a pandemic? Yeah.
After all that I've given you? Yeah. Widow's pissed.
I wonder where's Hawkeye? He can't lift her up in this moment.
No, he's going full Ronin. He's the ninja now, right? He's like slipping underneath the surface, like skulking around the camp.
Let her bury herself. Okay.
Major meltdown from Black Widow.
Another alliance is forming.
A little bit of an alliance is forming between Ant-Man and Captain America. Ant-Man's like, Cap, I want to get in on Cap's crew. I want in. I'll do whatever you want. I salute America's ass.
Exactly. Like we had this last time, the infamous America's Ass Alliance in the second Survivor simulation. So, I mean, we saw from Endgame how much.
So perhaps this alliance is the other cheek.
I like that. And hopefully they'll be able to turn a better performance, much like you turn the other cheek there. But I think this makes sense. But also, not just this partnership. There is another alliance forming here between Captain Marvel, Hulk, and Iron Man. I think this makes sense. You know, Tony and Bruce Banner have tight. They've been seeing eye to eye. They were the co-fathers of Ultron. And I think like they can sort of bring in Captain Marvel as like, well, let's bring her in as our third. She's a very solid, reliable performer. I feel like she would go with this.
Yeah, I think they're all looking at each other like, we've all been to space. You know?
Yeah. I'm concerned about Hulk, though. Isn't he double dipping at this point? Because he's in Team Cap.
But so is Cap, though. Cap has this side deal with Ant-Man, and he's got his whole thing, too.
Yeah, so who knows what that's all going to be all about. But I'm concerned about that as well. Over at the Snapped, let's see what's going on here. The Idol, it's currently hidden.
Oh! T'Challa has found the Idol!
Yes! Ooh, Lord knows he needs it.
Yes, King.
Well, the thing was, so he actually found some heart-shaped herb, and he took it, and he talked to his father, and his father's like, go to that tree that looks a little crooked, and you'll find the Idol, and he was able to find it then.
Yeah.
Oh, Baba.
That's how he got the clue. Black Panther has the Idol. Meanwhile, Black Panther and Thanos are in a major fight.
Oh no! I think Black Panther is now going to shoot his shot. Now he's got a bit cocky. He's like, all right, now that I have safety, I know who I'm going after.
Yeah.
Mike, I don't know what I thought you said.
Yeah, we're fighting Thanos here. It was about time. There's a slight bond between Black Panther and Spider-Man. Meanwhile, a lot of T'Challa action. He's impressing the rest of the team.
Good edit for T'Challa this episode.
You know, very good episode for him. All right, Tribal Council time. Now, is he shining too hard? Is he trying to attract some attention so he can play that Idol? Or people like rallying like, I love what he's putting down and I want to be a part of what's going on in Wakanda?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be very easy for him to get people on their side to vote out Thanos, right? And I'm trying to remember. Oh, Thanos did vote out Vision last time, but I don't think it's going to break down of, okay, who voted for Vision, who voted for Shuri. I think this is still early on in the game, and I wouldn't be surprised if we still see a scattered vote here.
And we do have that Idol. Yeah, we have that Idol. So, I mean, it's early to play it, but it could happen if it depends on how much danger he thinks he's in. So we'll see.
All right. So we've got 11 people on this tribe. How is this going to shake out? Black Panther has the Idol. Does he want to play it? Nope.
Okay.
Holding tight. He's holding tight on.
Where does he even hide that Idol on himself?
He doesn't. He just wears it around his suit, and everyone's just like, "Oh, that's the necklace that is part of the suit." So he's just able to hide it in that way. All right, votes. Time to read. A vote for Black Panther.
Oh no!
Oh, you big dummy.
First vote for Black Panther. Second vote to Wanda.
Well, you got Vision out. This seems like a natural progression. Yeah.
Wanda. That's 2 votes, Wanda. Black Panther. That's 2 votes, Black Panther. 2
T'Challa.
votes, Wanda.
TC is not looking good, man.
Black Panther. That's 3 votes for T'Challa. Black Panther. That's 4 votes.
God.
This guy.
For the King of Wakanda.
With an idol around his neck.
7th vote goes to Falcon.
What's happening?
So this is 4-2-1 right now.
A little split vote.
I'm glad you can do the math because I cannot. The next vote goes to Sam Wilson.
4-2-2.
Sam Wilson.
Okay. So this is interesting. So we have 2 votes left. Is currently 4 votes Black Panther, 3 votes Falcon, 2 votes Wanda.
The Falcon.
Oh, man. Okay, so if this is a vote for anybody but Falcon or Black Panther, we have a tie. Again, if it's for Falcon, Falcon goes home. If it's for Black Panther goes home.
Falcon.
Wow.
The 11th vote and player leaving is Falcon. Final vote count was 5 votes for Sam Wilson, 4 votes for T'Challa, and 2 votes for Wanda. Falcon. The tribe has spoken. Chappell, do we think that this was because of like the lingering bad energy from the fight between Falcon and the Vision? People were like, we just want to move past this.
Yeah. And then there was a split vote in there, so I think that we maybe they assumed that he was aligned with Wanda. Maybe, well, I don't know because Wanda would have been on Vision's side of the fight, I'd imagine. So it looks like they were just trying to get the bad blood out of the tribe, any negative energy. That's a long game, and so you don't want that kind of those bad vibes. Yeah.
So Black Panther voted for Falcon. So did Gamora. So did Wanda. So did Shuri. So did Spider-Man.
Okay, so basically, it was the 3-wheeled alliance brought in Shuri and brought in, who was that 5th one? I think it was Scarlet Witch.
And Scarlet Witch. So
basically, like, he got your boyfriend, so we need to get him back.
Correct. Where Doctor Strange voted for Black Panther, so did Falcon. So did Thanos. So did Bucky. Again, I think Bucky thinks he's voting for people to win. He's not quite sure on the rules. I don't think he's.
You know what? Actually, this makes sense because I could imagine that like Thanos brought these 6 people together and was like, okay, I think we have everyone else. We can scatter them. Let's split the votes between Black Panther and Scarlet Witch just in case if T'Challa does, if that is indeed not his necklace and is an idol, then Scarlet Witch will go out. And I don't think they counted on this 3-person alliance flipping and throwing a plurality of votes onto Sam Wilson here.
Wasp and the Star-Lord voted for Wanda, and I don't think either of them really know what's going on in the game. It seems like they're
I would not be shocked.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Chris Pratt is showing more signs of Andy Dwyer than he is Star-Lord at this point.
Yeah, it's a little Burt Macklin action.
But look at Shuri on the same side of the vote as T'Challa.
She didn't vote against him. No tit for tat here.
This lends credence to our theory that they are indeed working together, and that first vote was, very diabolically genius. We will also have a lot to say about Sam Wilson in hopefully the near future. I would like to think that at some point in early 2021, we are going to be talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier a lot on this podcast. So sad to see Falcon go here, but definitely a character that we're going to be able to talk about a lot more on Everything is Super in the near future. Let's move forward. All right. It is episode 3, The Leftovers, fully intact. The Snapped down by 2.
Will the Leftovers continue their dominance here?
Let's see what's happening on the tribe. The idol is currently hidden. No one has found it. Cap's crew is still pretty tight. Cap's got his back pocket deal with Ant-Man. I think literally Ant-Man is hiding in his back pocket.
Yeah.
I think that's right. And the alliance between Captain Marvel, Hulk, and Iron Man is remaining in place. Over at the Snapped, Black Panther's got that idol, still tight with Gamora and Spider-Man, and in fact, their alliance has improved slightly. Since
and Black Panther is even more loyal now. He was a 4 before, now he's up to a 6, and I can imagine it's because Gamora and Peter Parker were looking out for him in that moment.
Boulder Dash is the reward challenge. What is this one?
So basically, there's a big boulder that they have to roll along, and then one person gets up on the boulder at each station to like untie rings to throw onto a peg.
Okay. Do we have
So
any?
we'd imagine this is a pushing contest that is going to go over to the leftovers again.
All right. No.
Oh!
It's snapped. Tired of being overlooked as challenge beasts, the Snapped have rallied together. Thanos rolled up his sleeves. I got this. Spider-Man at one of the boulders. Come on, Peter Parker. Come on, Spider-Man.
And I can imagine as well that, I think the leftovers are playing a bit strategically as well. I think they want to sit out Rocket for their immunity challenge, knowing that they could sit out 2 people and you can't sit out the same people in back-to-back challenges. So they said, all right, we'll take the L here. We'll have Rocket play, even though he is, quite the liability in this type of challenge.
Yes. All right. So chairs, a hammock, sheets, lanterns, candles, and a tarp.
It's the perfect reward for retired Thanos.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, this is all mine now.
He's looking through everything. No fruit. Plenty in the jungle, my friend. All right. Well, let's proceed to the immunity challenge. Raft and the Furious is the name of this.
No, John. No,
like a Fast and Furious.
Yeah, listen, they're no John Kierhofer in terms of naming punny challenges.
Chappelle, the Raft and the Furious.
The Raft and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, I mean, what is this? All right, there's some paddling that has to be done. Yada yada yada. It's the leftovers again.
Yeah, I don't think they have it in them to throw a challenge yet, really.
No,
I think they're fine with losing these reward challenges, but I think they're like, let's keep the tribe strong. Let's keep this momentum going. And there may have been talks about maybe some people paddling the wrong way, but I think their efforts were outdone here by just the ineptitude of the rowing when it came to the Snapped.
So the leftovers got this. Over back at their camp, that idol which was hidden has been discovered by Ant-Man.
And he can easily shrink it down and put it in his pocket so nobody can search through his bag.
There are a few people in this game better equipped, other than maybe the Wasp on the other tribe, for hiding an immunity idol out of plain sight. So good for you, Scott. He's got it hidden away, tucked away, and no one can see it. There is a big fight between Captain Marvel and Thor. Do we think it was like a play fight gone bad because they were just like both like feats of strength and then like everyone got blown out of proportion?
Yeah, because I feel like in the little clip that we saw of like Captain Marvel, doing her first scene, Where is Fury? I feel like Thor actually didn't he outright say like I like her to Captain Marvel?
Yeah, that hammer just flew past her head. She didn't even flinch. So yeah, I can imagine it's a little bit of a pissing contest going on between the two of them, trying to see who's the strongest. Yeah,
this fight has a lasting impact. We won't know what the impact of it is for a little while. There is this new alliance that's forming between Thor, Nebula, and Black Widow.
Look at. I mean, it really does seem like, even though there is this like hub of Cap's crew, everyone's sort of exploring other options.
Dynamics
which is the smart thing to do, though. I think you can't rely on this alliance, especially when it's only 5 out of 12 at this point.
I think they're very strong but traumatized. This tribe, given losing half of the world's population and having to linger in that world.
And I would also say, like,
trust issues abound.
I think they all. I mean, we don't know the story about Black Widow yet, but I would assume that they've all lost a sibling as well. So.
Seems likely.
Yeah. And when you're not voting someone out, you just have more time to create those bonds. And so I'm not surprised that it's turning into like a big web as opposed to like a solid alliance. I do think that one alliance is going to hold strong, but you got plenty of time to go meet other people. And whereas the other tribe is, constantly voting people off. So come to merge, we might see, the remainder of the other tribe be a lot stronger because they've had to vote together more. But this tribe is, it's going to have some voting blocks involved in it.
Yeah, the merge 22 hours from now.
3 recordings.
3 sessions from now. Proceeding forward, what's happening over at the Snapped? King T'Challa still has the idol. There's a minor disagreement.
Trouble in paradise.
Between Gamora and Spider-Man. You know what I think it is, Chappelle? It's like that Goonies situation where Annie makes out with the younger brother thinking that she's making out with Josh Brolin. And so like now she's found out that she's had the wrong Peter the entire time.
So or the wrong Josh Brolin. I like the word minor disagreement.
Yeah.
Because
exactly. It's quite literally a minor, like much like the Rocket had a small fight, Spider-Man has automatically minor disagreements.
Yeah.
The producer stepped in and said, "This is gross."
Yeah. Like, listen, I gotta tell you, like, I'm starting to feel morally dubious.
Yeah, I don't know if I should be Frenching a 15-year-old boy on national television.
the minor disagreement is going to have a lasting impact.
You bet.
Uh-oh, something's happening. Black Panther has left his 3-person alliance.
He was the one who's like, I've thought about this more, and like this whole thing is weird.
I'm feeling weird vibes.
I gotta be honest.
I appreciate you doing me a solid last time, but I'm out. I'm good.
The things that are happening with you two is just very, very odd. Very, very.
I'm calling the cops.
Yeah, I'm calling the police. The snapped goes.
Oh well, so
council.
that's not. I think T'Challa has to play his idol here, no matter what, because that's not good. That's the only alliance on this tribe, and he just left it. That's very easy reasons for Gamora and Peter Parker to vote against.
He's gotten votes. Yeah, you would think that now would be a good time to do that.
I'm thinking he's rallied enough people around him, though. Like, they're all probably looking at those two like they're gross. So maybe.
Yeah, you're right. They are really gross.
Yeah. Like, can you see this? Do you see these girls? This is disgusting.
Could be bad. Could be bad for one of Spider-Man or Gamora. Let's see what's going to happen. Black Panther, he's got the idol. Is he going to play it? Now would be the time to do so. No.
Wow. Balls of vibranium.
He's not going to do it. We are just going to get to the votes. There's 10 people left on this tribe. Let's find out how the votes are going to shake out. Stanley will read the votes. First vote, Black Panther.
Damn it.
What's wrong with him?
The second vote, T'Challa, Black Panther.
We've been down this road before. It might not be that bad.
The third vote goes to the Black Panther. The fourth vote goes to King T'Challa.
Okay, things might turn here. Things might turn.
The fifth vote goes to Black Panther.
All right, well, it might be a tie. There still might be more votes.
It is, best case scenario, a tie. Sixth vote goes to the Wasp.
Okay.
T'Challa, what are you doing?
Yeah. The seventh vote goes to the Wasp.
Oh my God. Did T'Challa do it? Did he make another tie happen?
The eighth vote goes to the Wasp. Evangeline Lilly. They're like, she's been on islands before.
I don't trust her. She's the fugitive.
2 seasoned. The Wasp. That's 4 votes for the Wasp. 5 votes for T'Challa. 1 vote left.
Oh my God, this tribe is a hot mess.
Hold your breath.
And I love it. I love it so much. It's a tie.
It's a tie.
Oh, wow.
Chappell, it's a tie. It's a tie. It's 3 votes in.
Wow.
So what is it? An even number? Okay, time to tie it up again.
Right.
What is happening?
I love Brain Steel so much.
I'm being stressed out. Is this normal?
Yeah, it's abnormal, but it's normal for the context of what we are doing here. Okay. We shouldn't be in this context, but here we are.
Bee or wasp?
We shouldn't wasp in this context. All right, so it's a tie between the Wasp and Black Panther. We will revote. Let's see if there's anything that changes on the revote. The first vote on the revote will go to the Wasp.
Okay, so people could flip either way here. Gamora has been known to flip.
Second
sure
vote.
As well. Yeah.
Black Panther. The Wasp. Black Panther. That's 2 votes Wasp, 2 votes.
And we have 4 votes left.
Black Panther. That's 3 votes for the Black Panther. Black Panther. That's 4 votes for the King.
That's it.
Black Panther, the tribe has spoken with an idol in his pocket. T'Challa
or around his neck
has been voted out of the tribe, and that sucks on so many levels.
Wow.
This sucks.
So many levels, but man, he made a name for himself in these first 3 episodes. I want to see what the hell happened. T'Challa almost pulled it off. He got just enough votes to pull off a tie, but then I think again people got too scared in the revote, and they're like, no, we're not going to rocks again or thinking about it.
There were two changes on the revote of Doctor Strange and Star-Lord voted for Wasp on the first vote, but changed it to Black Panther on the revote. Even though Black Panther had left the alliance with Gamora and Spider-Man, Chappell, Gamora, and Spider-Man held strong. They voted for Wasp.
I'm looking at Shuri this time. What are you doing?
Shuri voted her brother out.
Her brother out.
Yeah, she
voted
her brother out of the game.
People have been, trying to decide what the next iteration of the Black Panther is going to look like, and they don't know if Shuri's going to step into that mantle or not. And so maybe this is her trying to mark her territory a little bit, kind of, out with the old, in with the news.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible, but very harsh, very hardcore.
Wow, and with an idol, nonetheless, T'Challa, he was playing with fire, and he thought he could make it through yet another vote, and he nearly did.
It was a bold move. Bold move.
He was playing fast and loose, though. He was impressing everybody and finding idols and leading vote flips. It was time. He was getting a little reckless. You can't play like that.
No, I'm not ready to be without him.
I know. I know. Same. I'm sad. It would have been really fun to have him here for a long run. He was very memorable here during his time here in Australian Survivor.
The good news is, though, Australian Survivor episodes, not only are there a lot of them, but they're very long. So we basically got like 4.5 hours worth of episode material from Black Panther.
It's true. Absolutely.
It feels like it.
Absolutely. We are very sad to lose Black Panther here, of course. And at a certain point, we will talk a lot more about the Black Panther franchise. I think for now, we're still just in mourning, so we're not really even thinking in that direction yet. But I will say, having rewatched Avengers Endgame recently for the purpose of the podcast, and we were doing it live in the patron Discord, that the moment he pops in through the portal was always like a big moment in the theater, but like it hits very differently now, and just has like it's just like it's still very powerful. It was hard to exactly process like the full scope of the feelings that you're feeling seeing him come through there. But what Chadwick Boseman did in his life and did with this character and what he did for culture, I think can never be overstated. Just an absolute icon from start to finish.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. The leftovers are fully intact. The snap's starting to fade away, as is their...
We're down to a mere 21 players now.
As is their MO. Let's see what's going on in the leftovers. Ant-Man's got that idol. He's still hanging on to that. The alliances remain what they are.
Yeah, I mean, I really want the leftovers to go to Tribal Council for a number of reasons. One of them is like they are by far the more strategically interesting.
There's a lot going on the leftovers. We just don't really know exactly where everybody stands. Like everybody is in like some sort of alliance. It seems like, right? Is there anyone who isn't accounted for?
Okoye isn't in one.
Okoye is just hanging out. Yeah, she's just
hanging out.
Yeah, she's doing her thing. Over at the Snapped, the idol, which got which Black Panther left with, has been rehidden, and Gamora has found it.
Wow, good on Gamora. She, ditched her ally, but she gets another ally in the form of her idol that she brings back to her sweet boo thing, 15-year-old Peter Parker.
It's like, all right, do you think we can get over our minor disagreement? Perhaps with this stone, I will be able to. This is the time stone. I'll age you up. This will be more age appropriate.
She needs to, because I'm uncomfortable.
I'm getting a little weirded out here.
I'm surprised no other alliances have formed. Maybe we'll see this happen on the Snap. Maybe now getting rid of like these rogue elements in Vision and Falcon and Black Panther, people are like, okay, now we can finally start like forming deals here.
Let's see. Let's see what's going to happen here. All right. So reward challenge, number one of reward challenge of the episode, surf nets. It's a bunch of coconuts. You got to get some coconuts, I guess, is the challenge, and it's the leftovers. They got a lot of heavy hitters here. They got to smash some coconuts. So
yeah, and there's a stage where you have to like have someone surf on top of like a board on top of coconuts that are floating in the water. And come on, that's like Born for Rocket's position, right? He's so lightweight that he could easily float. Whereas like, I guess was Wasp the lightest person on the Snap tribe?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, unless you count Ant-Man on this tribe, I mean, regardless, we have a couple options for our surfer.
Yeah. Coffee, tea, sugar, salt, pepper, and fresh herbs. It's kind of a strange combo of things.
You get like your breakfast and your lunch accoutrement all at once.
I'd be a little nervous that like you'd be out there so hungry for so long and you get coffee, tea, sugar, salt, pepper, and fresh herbs in one shot that like you're going to start like mixing and matching like salt and pepper your coffee.
I mean, I guess if you need to spice up your coffee somehow.
Gosh, yeah, a few more seasonings, and I'm looking at Rocket.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
now you have spices for it,
right, a little cayenne.
Especially at this point where like they haven't gone to tribal yet. Like we may be able to afford eating Rocket at this point.
Just saying, if we
We're
got to
looking,
sacrifice someone.
it's starting to look tasty. All right.
Mhm.
Obstacle is the name of this challenge. I assume it's some sort of upward trajectory obstacle. Mike.
Yeah, it basically looks like they have to like build. It's sort of like that thing where you build an obstacle course for the other team to go through. So we'll see. This could be a chance if the Snapped uses Shuri's ingenuity. They might be able to finally win an immunity challenge here.
Chappelle, prediction?
I don't think it's great for the Snap, but they do have Shuri.
Yeah.
They do have Shuri, so we will see what happens.
All right. Who wins obstacle? It's the leftovers.
Oh,
Shock of the century.
I mean,
Shock
that's
of the
fine. We get
century.
more hot mess going on in the Snap tribe, so it's fine. We won either way.
You know,
I
this
see
is
it as a
starting to
win-win,
change.
to quote Smart Hulk.
This is like Infinity War, though, right? Like all of the people on the Snap tribe are the stars this time because they're not going to be in the second episode.
Oh my god,
That's true. That's actually very true. We're giving a highlight to them.
They're not going to be heavily featured in part 2. All right, so over at the Leftovers tribe, Ant-Man's got that idol. There's a strong bond happening between Cap and Nebula.
which I mean, they were already aligned since pretty much day one, but it looks like they're becoming a tight twosome.
Yeah, and a slight bond between Ant-Man and Black Widow.
I mean, she was, I think, one of the people that he went to right when he sort of did that awkward drop in at Avengers HQ. So it makes sense.
You're a spider. I'm an ant. We insects. We got to stick together. It has a lasting impact, that bond. So we'll see how that bears out at some point.
I want to say Scott Lang has been playing like a pretty good game. He found an idol and has been making like some pretty tight twosomes, which at this point is good. I think the longer you do that, the more entrenched your bond becomes, the more you get brought in on deals with people like Cap and Black Widow.
All right, the Snapped. So Gamora has that idol. Doctor Strange and Peter Parker, they find something in common. Doctor Strange says, hey, I'm going to be in your movie.
Yeah, exactly. The movie Spider-Man 3. I know it's going to come out. I already know it. There's going to be some weird stuff going on with Sony, but don't worry, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm showing up in your movie.
I love.
Chappelle, are you excited about that, or is that weird?
No, I'm excited. I'm excited about anything involving the new Spider-Man. I think he's awesome. I think this is what we've been waiting for. I wasn't a huge Tobey fan. I mean, at first everyone was, right? And then, your results may vary
and
after
then he
that.
dancing.
Right. Oh my gosh. Then he put like the Green Day eyeliner on. Anyway, so now I think I found my Spider-Man. So I'm very excited.
Doctor Strange and Wasp have a major fight.
Ooh, maybe this is sort of like a science versus mystic arts thing where, Wasp is the daughter of a scientist. She's very pragmatic. And Doctor Strange is like, no, I was like that too. But you really have to believe in the forces that exist outside of science. And Wasp is just not having it.
Yeah. There's a lasting impact of that fight. Bad time for Wasp to get into a fight, given what just happened with her at the previous.
I don't know. Knowing this tribe, Doctor Strange is going to get voted out somehow.
It's very likely. This hot mess of a tribe. The Snapped. All right, let's see what's going on here. Gamora's got an idol. She can choose whether or not to play it. She's not going to.
Oh no.
I don't know. Did she seem like she's in danger? I mean, her ally.
She didn't get involved in any major events this episode, so that's good. She's been relatively UTR with just hanging out with her boy toy. But that could be seen if they're seen as a pair and T'Challa just got, barely voted out. That might not be good for them.
Okay. Well, we're going to see how that's going to shake out. So, Gamora not playing the idol. The votes are coming in. Stan Lee will read the votes. The first vote goes to Wanda. Scarlet Witch, 1 vote. 2 votes for the Scarlet Witch. That's 3 votes for the Scarlet Witch. Already the 4th vote.
Wow.
Wanda Maximoff getting another
vote. One more vote, and Wanda is donezo.
Okay. 5th vote. Thanos.
Oh, could this be it? Could this be where the Mad Titan falls?
Drawing purple blood. Thanos. So 2 votes for Thanos. 4 votes for Wanda. Thanos.
Oh man.
3 votes.
Oh man, is this gonna be 5-4?
Thanos. It's 4 votes for Thanos. 4 votes for Wanda.
I love this tribe so much.
1 vote
Hotness.
left. Please let it be for someone totally random and we get another tie.
Oh my gosh. We cannot do another tie.
The final vote. And the 4th. This is the 4th person. 4th person voted out of Australian Survivor Endgame is Thanos.
Wow.
The tribe has spoken. Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
He's such an asset in the challenges, but you'd have to think at this point they haven't won anything anyway. So I guess it's fine
Yeah.
The
to
only
boot him.
challenge that they've won was that fire starting challenge in the very beginning of the game. And to your point, Chappelle, they might just be like, screw challenges. We're going for loyalty here. I'll be intrigued to see. Oh, so Gamora voted alongside her dad.
Yeah.
She and Spidey sided with Thanos along with the Winter Soldier, who just seems like his own free agent, much like
I
Bucky
do
Barnes
think Winter
is.
Soldier keeps thinking he's voting for people to stay.
Oh my gosh. The
He's
idea that
screwing it
Bucky's
up.
just completely he's still
Bimbo
brainwashed.
Bucky.
So
Yeah.
You think Bucky has fashioned an arm out of bamboo at this point, and that's what he's using?
Yeah.
I hope he has something.
He's the classic surfer bro. Look at him.
Wow.
He's island hot, but that's about it. He's
So
definitely
everybody else just
security
said, like, all right, you know what? I think it's time we make a move against Thanos. He is. I can imagine that also in the vacancy of Vision and Falcon both being gone, that Thanos tried to step into that leadership role, and they were getting pretty tired of his arrogancy and like all the rules he was making. So they said, let's balance out the tribe, perfectly balanced as it should be.
Mhm.
We are leaderless once more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once he got that hammock and stuff, he probably just laid around camp eating up all the food.
Oh yeah, And he sat in the hammock. We know that's a death sign in Survivor, right? Whenever they show you plotting in the hammock, it means you're too cocky.
Yeah.
Victim to the edit.
It's like in Avengers Endgame, Thanos is dead in the first 20 minutes, right? So that's basically
They went for the head.
They went for the head this time. They again, Doctor Strange is like, so some more spoilers. Thanos wins if we don't go for the head now. So we gotta take this now.
Is that what Doctor Strange told Spidey? Because Spidey definitely voted out the wrong person.
He did. They have something in common, but it wasn't voting.
I don't know if Strange trusts Spidey, because again, Spidey's been hanging around so much with Gamora, and he's like, that's Thanos' daughter. I'm not going to leak any information to him in the moment. I'm going to test him here, Ken McNichol style. I'm going to test the young. I'm going to test the young lad.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So Thanos, who is dead in the MCU, is now dead here in Survivor Endgame. It was an uphill battle for the lone bad guy on the battlefield. It wasn't so much of a thing for him in Infinity War, but in Endgame, it was a much harder road to hoe. So I guess it makes sense that Thanos is going to go out here. I guess he's not Russell Thantz after all.
Maybe he's Russell Thantz in Survivor Redemption Island, but not the other two seasons. Or actually, a spoiler alert, much like Russell Thantz in Australian Survivor.
Yeah, he doesn't do well there either.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
yeah.
Josh Brolin from the Goonies is gone.
I think we got the wrong Josh Brolin.
Got the wrong one.
Yeah, I think that's what happened here. All right. See you, Thanos. We will
Does
miss
Thanos
you.
get the Sia money? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh my
see you
God,
for
Australian.
Thanos. Yeah, I
What
think
world
so.
does Sia give the money to Thanos?
He loves animals
Yeah,
so
he was
much.
good to the animals. He's a great farmer.
He
very
didn't snap any
ethical.
animals.
Very ethical. Yeah. Okay. Well, so look at that leftovers tribe, still 12 strong to the 8 on the snapped.
The good news is we are a few episodes away from a challenge that will shift the balance of the tribes either way. So it should be interesting.
Okay, so we are probably like 10% of the way through the season at this point.
In general, yeah. I think we're about a quarter. No, we're about 20% through the actual season proper.
Oh God. Okay, here we go. Let's see what's happening over at the leftovers. Ant-Man's got that idol. It seems like it's just status quo happening over at the leftovers. Meanwhile, at the snapped, the only alliance that exists is between Gamora and Spider-Man. It's a mutual loyalty of 6 there.
Do you think Gamora has told Spidey that she has the idol, or do you think she's keeping that to herself?
I don't know. Hard to say.
Loyalty's about a 6, right? So maybe that doesn't sound like somebody who I would have to tell all my secrets to.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. All right. Well, I think it's just an immunity challenge coming up here. No reward. We're going straight to chain reaction.
So this is an interesting one. So this is a group endurance challenge where you stand in a line and you hold discs up between your hands. And so it's basically like you having to work with somebody else, and just the last pair standing wins it for their tribe. So we'll see if the leftovers lose. It's purely down to who matches up with who, because they have, once again, especially with Thanos missing, just the pure strength to pull out their 5th victory here.
All right. So that's chain reaction. And who is going to win here? Would you believe it? Would you believe it? The shocker of shockers. This leftovers tribe is just stacked. It's Captain America. It's Captain Marvel. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, all like Thor and Captain America.
Like, what are you gonna do?
They're holding up the disc. Cap says, "I can do this all day," and they're like, "Okay, fine, we'll drop out here."
What are you supposed to do? This is the crew. All right, they win immunity. Over back at the beach, anything new? There's a slight bond between Cap and Rhodey. It's got a lasting impact. I like that. It's a good pair.
Yeah, and I think that especially in the vacancy of Tony Stark, War Machine's looking for like some new buds.
Yeah, they've been hanging out. They were part of like the Age of Ultron into Civil War Avengers together, so they've hung out. They know each other pretty well.
I don't really love it though. I mean, Tony's kind of just on an island. He's with the Hulk, and that's pretty much it.
Well, to that point though,
he was with the Hulk.
Yeah.
Looks like that is done. I could imagine. I think it's Captain Marvel. I think she's just like, this is stupid. We're not going to tribal council. I don't need to deal with this. I've got other stuff to worry about. You guys might be Skrulls anyway. I'm done.
This alliance between Captain Marvel, Hulk, and Iron Man is finished. It's dissolved. It's done. It will not stay. Meanwhile, over at the Snap, it is hollow. Gamora still has that idol. Doctor Strange is melting down. He has seen into the eye of the multiverse of madness, and he does not like what he sees. He's looking at the Eye of Agamotto, and he is just going insane. Meanwhile, a slight bond. Scandalous, Chappell.
Get in there.
Gamora and Star-Lord. Gamora's got her eye on the original Peter.
Yes, Big Peter. Big Peter.
Oh my God, I want a Peter love triangle right now.
PPE. Peter Quill here with slight bond.
Go get your woman. Hey, I like that. You fight for her. Go to her.
Yeah, go to her. Star-Lord is going to her. He's going to Gamora. He's not going to take this from the little shit Peter Parker anymore. He's done. He's done with that. All right, tribal council time. The Snapped goes to tribal once again with 8 people.
This could be. I mean, this could be anybody. With Thanos gone, this could literally be anybody.
It'll probably be a tie.
Actually, true to the Snapped, right? Like it could be truly anyone. Much like the Snap cleared out so many genuinely heartbreaking people for the time being.
Yeah, every other tribal has been a tie so far, so we are due for one. Let's see how this shakes out. The votes. Gamora's got that idol. Is she gonna play it? Now would be the time.
She plays it on Spidey.
He plays it on Little Peter.
Big Peter has to be shocked right now. I'm Big Peter. I am disgusted.
True love is real. It exists in this tribal council.
Scandalous. Gamora is gonna play her idol for Spider-Man. Wow. Okay, Spider-Man is safe.
Has Spidey found his new MJ in the form of Gamora?
Yeah, it seems like it. All right, so any votes cast against Spider-Man are not going to count. He's making it through no matter what. The first vote, after Stan Lee starts to read the votes,
he did not want to go, and now he's here.
Goes to the Winter Soldier. Bucky's getting the first vote. Doctor Strange.
Uh-oh, that meltdown might not have helped him.
1 vote Bucky, 1 vote Steven. Steven. 2 votes for Steven. Bucky. It's 2 Steven.
Oh, Gamora wasted her idol.
She wasted it.
She was nervous. She didn't want to lose him.
She just lost her dad.
Steven. That's 3 votes for Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. That's 4 votes. It's going to be a tie or Doctor Strange is done.
I think he saw the writing on the wall. This meltdown is...
it's Doctor
that's
Strange.
it.
It's
Actually, there was a weird moment, actually, where a vote came up and it said Mr. Doctor, and Stanley said, no nicknames. Who is this?
A Denver Diva moment of Australian Survivor Endgame. Doctor Strange had his meltdown because he tried, but every outcome he saw, he went out 5th. And here he is going out 5th. Doctor Strange, the tribe has spoken.
I'll be intrigued to see who voted. Did Spider-Man vote alongside Doctor Strange?
It's a pretty straightforward vote.
Oh no, Shuri was the only vote.
Shuri votes for Bucky.
You think it was like a pity vote that she knew he was going out and like wanted
I think it's still more like, because she wants to distance herself from any perceived allies, any of the pregame stuff, because people know that she and Bucky hung out in Wakanda. But yeah, Doctor Strange, the tribe has spoken.
Wow.
Yeah, for me, Doctor Strange was one of the MVPs of the Endgame and it's kind of like Doctor Strange set the table, and you don't have those big reveals without him.
Yep.
He was fighting the way we want to see him fight. I mean, Doctor Strange was doing what needed to be done. So I think if he goes out like this, I'm fine with it.
Do you think that Doctor Strange was playing too much in the water the way that in Endgame he used like all those weird water effects to fight Thanos' army?
Yeah, maybe. Just a lot of like beach time. He was just meditating too much yoga for Stephen Strange. Like he's not really acclimating with the group. He keeps trying to see into the future, and he should really be more present with us. Stephen Strange will be a person that we're going to talk about forever, it seems like, because he has his own movie coming up. He's going to be in Spider-Man. Like, I think that they are really looking at Doctor Strange as a pivotal new player in the MCU. Which
is strange because, to the point on your podcast, he had probably one of the worst Phase 3 origin films, but we've seen a lot of these heroes have not so great origin films and go on to play very important roles. So I think that luckily the Infinity War and Endgame duo set up his characterization to be better, and that hopefully means that he'll sort of fill this weird like Tony Stark-esque role in the franchise from now on.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with him next. All right, so we go into episode 6, The Leftovers, fully intact.
We're looking at an oolong situation right now.
The snapped are snapping. They are fading away fast as Doctor Strange has left, and that leaves us with just Gamora, Scarlet Witch, Shuri, Spider-Man, Star-Lord, the Wasp, and the Winter Soldier. Let's proceed and see, is there anything new to report over at The Leftovers? No, nothing. Over at the Snapped, there's Gamora and Spider-Man hot and heavy.
Though Gamora now lost her idol, so that means that things are now out in the open, and any one of these other free agents could pick it up.
The idol is missing.
Yeah,
we don't know.
She should have her finger on the pulse a little bit more. She should get her head out of these showmances and kind of focus on the game, because that was a big wasted idol.
I agree. By the numbers is the reward challenge here in episode 6.
So that's the infamous one. Same thing in Australia as it was in America, where everyone is standing on a beam and you have to awkwardly touch one another as they move by. Have to imagine this is actually pretty advantageous for the Snapped, because if Hulk is playing, that's not good. And also, as you mentioned, Chappelle, Gamora is not beneath her to just touch people at any points in time. So this might actually be a rare win for the Snapped.
All right. Let's see. Is it a rare win for the Snapped? It is! The Snapped! Yeah.
You gotta believe,
but not when it matters. Of course,
yeah. They win a reward. Who cares? you gotta believe it benefits them to not have Thanos anymore. Yep. No one wants to touch him, and he's huge. So yeah, this works. They win
a nice barbecue. Actually, you know what? Maybe this did like lift spirits. Like even the Peters are coming together. Bucky's opening beers with his robotic arm. Like everyone's having a good time despite how low morale is.
Barbecue season: sausages, hamburgers, prawns, buns, condiments, and beer. And this is one that the Leftovers tribe is very disappointed to have lost, Thor especially.
Does Spider-Man have to drink milk?
Yeah, he's not allowed.
Listen, they haven't been policing his actions thus far, so
that's true. Actually, they should have stepped in when he was romancing an older woman.
Yeah. This is a moment where where Gamora's like, "Why aren't you drinking anything?" It's like, it's just a choice. It's just
allergic.
Yeah, allergy, beer allergy, gluten. I'm gluten intolerant. Immunity challenge: the Polar Express.
All right, let's see. This is
filled with barbecue. Can the Snapped win their first immunity of the season? They do!
Wow!
Thank you, barbecue. Though I'd have to imagine that this might have been something that one of the Leftovers threw. Because this is also, maybe I'm just equating it to, because at this point in Australian Survivor...
How dare you take this away from them right now?
Listen, if it worked for Morgan, it works for the Snapped as well. I think that, good on them. Morgan, it was a very good week for them. I guess Doctor Strange was the weak link here. Getting rid of them sort of unified them. They're 7 strong now, and they are for once not going to a tribal council. And I am so intrigued as to what's going to happen now with this Leftovers tribe.
Oh my goodness.
I could see the Leftovers staying strong on this one and just picking off somebody who's not really, tied into the alliances. I mean, Okoye's on the outs right now, just kind of hanging out. Tony doesn't have any alliances. So I don't know. This might have been a throw to get rid of a threat, a late game threat.
Let's see what's going to happen here. The leftovers idol still belongs to Ant-Man. There's a major fight between Ant-Man and Black Widow.
Oh no!
That minor bond.
Did he not cut off the crust on her sandwich?
Maybe.
It's important.
Or he just ate her sandwich. He's like, I wasn't done eating that. I was going to finish it. There's a small fight between Hulk and Nebula.
All of Hulk's fight has been with small people.
Yeah, and I can imagine like there's a little bit of rage coming through, but then the Bruce Banner side takes like, no, stop it. We're not doing this anymore.
Captain Marvel is impressing the rest of the team. I think that Carol has clearly been carrying this team. A lot of great people on this team, but like they've got the strongest person in the entire MCU on their tribe. So
maybe she was the one to not necessarily throw it, but like back down and be like, well, if we don't win, we don't win. And she's fine at this point. It's clear she left the alliance. She feels like in a comfortable position at this point, so she's fine if they lose.
It doesn't really matter to our present purposes, but the snapped, let's see what's happening there. Bucky's impressing the rest of the team. I think he's just getting more and more island hot.
And I think it's also like, now that there are less people, he's like, oh, this is how the game works.
Right. He finally figured out who to vote for.
You vote people out. Good.
Well, now I'm ready.
Okay, all right.
It's easy to impress people. You don't have to go to tribal council.
Yeah.
they're like, you're not so bad. He's like, I didn't have to vote this time.
Yeah, we don't have to rely on him for votes. So now he's like, oh, he's a pretty okay guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to tribal council. It's the first leftovers tribal council of the season, which is
I'm so disappointed.
So we're back up to 12 votes here.
Yeah, so this is gonna be a big one. A lot of votes. They haven't had to be tested in this way yet. This is a long stretch to go without having to go to tribal once. How is this going to play out? Ant-Man's got that idol. If he wants to play it, now would be the time. He's not gonna.
Yeah, I think he feels comfortable. He has that alliance with Cap, and Cap is running at least a 5-person alliance. I think he knows that if anything, he's not going to be the one getting votes here.
All right, let's see. Stan Lee will read the votes. The first vote, Captain Marvel.
Oh, maybe she got outed as someone who backed off on the challenge.
The disrespect. Carol Danvers gets the first vote.
Interesting choice.
Hawkeye.
All right, this is fine. I'm good.
No one's going to complain about this. Yeah, no one's complaining.
Second vote, Hawkeye. Third vote, Hawkeye.
Remind me, was Hawkeye in the big alliance?
I don't believe so.
Then it doesn't look great. Look great.
No, it doesn't look great for him. Captain Marvel. 2 votes Captain Marvel, 2 votes for Hawkeye. Hawkeye. It's 3 votes for Hawkeye. Captain Marvel, this is a 3-3.
Oh, man. Could this be its own tie?
7th vote goes to Hawkeye. It's 4 votes for Hawkeye, 3 votes for Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. 4-4. Captain Marvel.
Oh, no.
5 votes for Carol, 4 votes for Clint.
3 votes left.
Carol.
Oh, no.
6 votes for Carol. It's either a tie or Captain Marvel, who has impressed the team, will be impressing the pre-jury trip.
Oh, my gosh.
Hawkeye.
Oh.
6 votes for Captain.
Another tie.
Tie.
5 votes for Hawkeye. Captain Marvel. The tribe has
so close.
spoken.
Wow. Blindside. Gotta be a major blindside, right?
Yeah.
Like, we had no idea she was going. She was by far the biggest asset the tribe had. Interesting. So I would have thought, before seeing these votes, that it was Cap's crew was basically like voted alongside, assumingly Hawkeye and someone else to vote out Captain Marvel. But no, Cap's crew stuck together. Oh, no, actually, it didn't seem like they did.
It's a little bit all over the place, to be honest, I think.
So it looks like, the people who voted for Hawkeye in the minority were Cap, Captain Marvel, so the Cap stuck together, Hulk, Iron Man, and War Machine.
Yeah.
How did Cap get on the same page as Iron Man? That's interesting.
It's very weird. This is a strange vote.
Well, I think this makes sense though, right? If they're talking about like strength, I can imagine that Cap in particular is like, okay, we just have to keep our tribe loyal and strong. Captain Marvel's our biggest asset. Let's keep her alive. Tony, I know I don't like you right now, but we'll do our handshake and move on. But the rest of the tribe had different ideas, and which makes sense as well. Like if you're looking at like, you're looking at Black Widow, you're looking at Rocket, you're looking at Okoye, you're looking at Nebula. These are people who are going to be a bit more independently minded. And so it would make sense. They're like, we don't want to get rid of Hawkeye. let's make the move and let's get rid of Captain Marvel right now.
Yeah, and it could be like a couple of swing votes where like Black Widow, really smart, shrewd, knows the game. Same with Nebula, same with Okoye. They know that Captain Marvel is like very dangerous to keep in the game. And they also have a few bimbos they can manipulate, like Hawkeye, like the Winter Soldier, maybe thinks that he's voting like, you vote for the person who you like the most.
Well, let's be honest here. Hawkeye's just
Captain
waiting for the
Marvel.
family visit, right?
Yeah,
That's
he's just playing for that. Yeah. So like maybe just they were able to con a few people into voting for Captain Marvel. But the disrespect.
Yeah. I don't love it. I mean, I see why Cap and Iron Man would come together and say, let's get rid of like, the weaker players. We want to keep as many big names around us as possible.
Yes.
So maybe that's why they did it, because it's definitely one of those things where the lesser name people, I guess I should say, kind of came together and got
the
rid
lions and the hyenas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the hyenas definitely came together on this one.
Wow. So that's painful. We'll have a lot to say about Carol Danvers in the future. Captain Marvel isn't going anywhere. Like a lot of these Phase 3 heroes have been phased out at this
Do you
point.
think that is Captain Marvel going to show up to the reunion with like her new Space Hawk? Because I would say otherwise it would be her jury look, but she unfortunately has not made the jury.
Yeah, I think that's right. Wow. Okay, so we've cleared episode 6 of 24. No, of 25.
Oh no, of 26 total. There's a finale as well.
And then we have to recap the
But
reunion.
just wait.
This is a
Next
mistake.
time,
This is a mistake.
there's a twist coming into this episode that I will
This is a
get
mistake.
to later on because it's a bit of a. Oh no, I think that's the next episode after this.
Oh God, there's so many episodes. All right, we're working for the merge.
But this has been fun though. This has been a very, very fun season so
Think
far.
of the merge. Think of the merge.
And I'm
All right.
very intrigued to see what the Leftovers tribe might have just fractured. They got rid of by far their biggest asset, and 4 people, including like 3 pretty big names, just got left in the lurch.
Okay, so the Leftovers, 11 strong versus the 7 strong snapped. Let's proceed and see what's happening at the Leftovers. Things are still like, everyone's still like, nothing's really changed despite that.
Yeah, I do wonder, like, what was Cap's conversation with his
Carol
crew?
wasn't really anywhere, so, maybe they were just like, she's super strong, and thanks for getting us this far, but you weren't tight with anyone, and now's the time to get rid of you.
I don't know. Hulk and War Machine seem to have, they brought down their loyalty, because I think they are more wary of Nebula and Thor than Cap is right now.
Could be. Over at the Snapped, Shuri has the idol.
Shuri found the idol. Will she do what her brother cannot?
Let's see. This is all part of the plan. Maybe she's got the Doctor Strange spoilers, and once she got those, it was time to get rid of Doctor Strange. Maybe that was the one thing that Doctor Strange knew he wasn't supposed to do. Don't tell Shuri the spoilers. If you can manage not to tell her the spoilers, you'll make it past 5, but in every single reality, he always tells her the spoilers. So she knows where the idol is, so she's in a good spot. We've got an immunity challenge coming up.
Will the Snapped continue their hot streak here?
Samoans is the name of the challenge.
Oh, so this is a physical challenge. This does not look good for the Snapped.
No, and it's not. The left.
They bad draw for the Snapped. Hulk, they just throw him in there, and he just demolishes everybody. So a bounce back for the Leftovers here.
Chappelle, it's lucky that Rocket doesn't have to compete. He can sit out there.
he's got the Abby Maria spot where he can just kind of hang out and
Sandra Rocket Trine.
Yeah.
I would play, but my knee. Yeah.
Right. He's in a good spot. All he has to do is not cause anybody to lose any challenges, which he can sit out and he can not annoy people. If he can do that, he's making the merge easily.
He's waiting for that sharpshooting challenge. I'm assuming he's pretty good with the slingshot, either being used as ammo or in aiming it.
I think so. Yes. All right. So that is a win for the Leftovers. Is there anything worth reporting over at the Leftovers? War Machine melting down.
Well, he was one of the people that voted with Carol Danvers, so I think he probably had the most adverse reaction to being blindsided.
Strong bond with Tony Stark and Scott Lang.
It's the Man Alliance. They both have man in their superhero name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Captain America goes to War Machine. There's a slight bond between them as Cap is like, listen, let me come to you in my capacity as a grief counselor. Let me instill some of what I've learned over the years into you right now. And Rhodey really appreciates it, I think.
Yeah,
he's got to focus on pulling Rhodey away from Iron Man, throughout the game. He's got to make sure.
I think Cap's been planting some seeds in that regard of like the inevitable betrayal of Iron Man at Rhodey's hands as he chokes him out.
Yeah, they're working together right now. lasting impact between Cap and War Machine over at the Snapped.
So Shuri's got that idol.
Shuri's got the idol. Spider-Man, major meltdown.
Is he concerned that he had the idol plate on him and now he's like, I couldn't find the idol. I'm freaking out right now. I've been missing my Aunt May.
Is this the breakup? Is it coming? Is he feeling a little
They're
insecure?
coming after all of the major Phase 3 heroes.
That's
I'm
true.
next.
Oh,
They got Captain Marvel.
That Phase 1 and 2 in Alliance is looking pretty strong right
This
now.
game is rigged for the Phase 1 stars.
I mean, listen, if of all the times, it is one last ride for a lot of these people, so I feel like it's okay.
Oh, man. No one believes that I was Iron Man 2, kid. I swear I was in Phase 1. I was there. All right, Tribal Council. That's it as far as what's happening at the
Will
Snap.
Peter Parker join his mentor in Ponderosa?
Yeah, is Captain Marvel going to greet Peter Parker at Ponderosa? Hey, Peter Parker.
Yeah, and then all the women there are going to like really blatantly form a group that just surrounds him and gets him to the buffet.
Phalanx. Let's see what's going to happen here. There's an idol in play. Does Shuri want to play it? No.
No.
Okay.
Just keeping it in her gauntlets.
Hanging tight. Stan Lee will read the votes. The first vote goes to Wanda.
Wanda's been a vote sponge this entire time.
Yeah, she must not be great to live with. I'm not gonna imagine.
Well, they're so confused with her. Like, one day she has an accent, some days she doesn't.
Don't know if I can trust her. Yeah, she's never really quite herself.
Is this Mary Kate or Ashley? Which
Which
one do we have today?
Yeah, who are we working with here? First vote, Scarlet Witch. Second vote, Spider-Man.
Oh,
That meltdown.
Spidey, I think this might be it.
Third
The meltdown
vote,
took out Doctor Strange.
Shuri.
Oh no, could she go out like her brother?
One vote,
I don't-
Wanda. One vote, Spider-Man. One vote, Shuri. Wanda.
All right, that's so 2-1-1 with 3 votes left.
Spider-Man.
2-2-1, 2 votes left.
Wanda.
Okay,
Three
so
votes.
we're 3-2-1 right now, but the vote is for Peter. We have another tie at 7 people. If it's for Wanda, it's basically for anybody
It's
but
for anyone
Peter.
else,
Wanda's
yeah.
gone.
Seventh and final vote. And the latest person voted out. Sent to the Vision. Scarlet Witch. The tribe has spoken. Yeah.
4-2-1. Close call for Peter Parker after that major meltdown. People were not appreciative of it, but he had Gamora in his pocket. That's all that matters. Looks like Scarlet Witch and Shuri were the 2 votes against Spider-Man. I'm intrigued to see. You know what I'm going to say right now? Winter Soldier was the throwaway vote for Shuri. We don't even need to see. No, Wasp.
No, the
Yeah.
Wasp.
Yeah. Well, they got rid
Okay,
of-
so this makes sense. So Gamora went to her other, side Peter and said like, "Hey, can you do me a
Side
solid?
Pete.
Yeah, keep Peter Parker in the game. Let's vote out Scarlet Witch. Like, she's been hanging on for too long. It should have just been a 1-2 job right after Vision. She's overstayed her welcome. We need to get rid of her right now." And they recruited Winter Soldier to their side as a loyal soldier, quite literally. And they got the advantage over the other 3 that were much more scattered.
Yeah, it makes sense. Wanda was on borrowed time. After Vision went home, she kind of got back under the radar and tried to ingratiate herself, but she was always going to get those votes. They've been coming from her since week 1. So
Yeah.
it's not great for Wanda, but she gave it the best shot.
It's a sad Wandoff this week as Wanda goes home. And it is indeed, Chappelle, a full house at Ponderosa.
How rude. Have mercy. I can't believe that this tribe has lost so many challenges.
We'll talk more about Wanda when WandaVision pops up. So again, I think we're still just holding it down for the OGs.
Soonish, right? Like, I think it's still like December 2020.
It's the word on the street is 2020. We're fast running out of runway here in 2020 in so many ways. So we will see. Hopefully that's coming pretty soon. We're very hopeful in that regard. All right. So the leftovers are going to be still 11 strong against 6 strong.
Final 17 right now. The leftovers officially basically double the number of the Snapped. What could this mean for the game? We shall see, because this episode, it should be interesting, and I will say no more.
All right. Nothing new happening on either of the tribes at this moment in time. Let's go to the reward challenge, the tricky transfer. This is when they have to get the Infinity Gauntlet across the battlefield, right?
Yeah, and you have to make sure that you don't touch it with your bare hands, or not only do you have to go back to the start, but your arm falls off. And Bucky's like, I've already been down that road before. But evidently, Bucky is the one who mishandles it. His arm falls off, and despite that, the Snapped end up winning the reward here.
Yeah.
Well, it's also a big teamwork one, so they basically have to they hold onto a platform that the Infinity Stone is balancing on, and they have to carry it through an obstacle course. And so I think at this point, this has been a pretty hardened tribe. They have now been to 6 tribal councils. And so they're like, all right, we got this. We can work together in this. And they're going to the spa, baby.
All right. So they win a Sliding Rocks spa day. They get to bathe, cheese and crackers, champagne.
Spa food.
Or milk for Spider-Man.
Yeah, milk. Yeah.
You sure you don't want any champagne?
No, this milk is perfect for my facial.
Yeah, I just like the milk. I'll accept the milk, thanks. So that's going on over there. Immunity challenge. Chariots of Fire. And would you believe it? The Snapped have won immunity.
Wow. They did, which is crazy because they basically had to pull one player on a heavy sled through an obstacle. So you think this is made for the leftovers, but no, I just think, like you said, Spider-Man channeled that come on Peter energy. Winter Soldier, just I think they got it in his programming and were able to get him to really just put his head down and push forward like an ox.
He's cracked the code on the Winter Soldier at this point.
Yeah, so they have won this episode, and again, I will not say what happens later on here, but that makes it very, very interesting.
All right, well, we're expecting some sort of twist is coming our way here. Idol still with Scott Lang. There is a minor disagreement between Hulk and the War Machine. I think it's just they're trying to figure out the time travel rules.
Well, the last challenge included somebody pulling the Hulk on the sled.
Yeah, they're like, guys, are you sure we should sit in the sled? Yeah, you're the tallest. Go ahead, sit in the sled.
Right. Without Captain Marvel, we didn't have anybody just muscle through this one. So I imagine that the War Machine has some strong opinions about that strategic choice.
I think that seems right to me. Rocket and War Machine are really joining forces here.
The Rocket's it should have been me.
To your point, though, Chappelle, I think there's the hyenas are now starting to come together of we gotta get rid of these big names, which does not sound good for our big 3 here. 2 of which were left out of that last vote.
We'll see. We'll find out. Lasting impact between Rocket and War Machine. Meanwhile, over at the Snap, sure, he still has that idol. Spider-Man and the Winter Soldier. It's a minor disagreement.
Well, he's a child, so
Peter and Bucky, yeah. It's a tough time. Yeah.
And Bucky's a little brooding, teenager-ish, in my opinion.
Yeah. Gamora impressing the rest of the team.
I don't know if that's a great sign. Last time someone impressed, the boat started coming that way.
I feel like the Snapped is very different than Captain Marvel.
Every time someone has impressed the team.
Yeah.
Black Panther impressing the team.
Yeah. T'Challa was pretty impressive, and he, I was impressed with how fast they got him out of here. So,
All right, so let's go to Tribal Council. For the leftovers are going to Tribal. And Ant-Man, he's got that idol. If anyone's got the idol, they want to play it, now would be the time, but no one's going to do it. So Stan Lee's going to read the vote. Stan Lee will read the first vote, and it is for Okoye.
Ooh, interesting.
You haven't heard much from Okoye this game?
She's been purple.
Okoye.
Yeah.
One vote Okoye. One vote Tony Stark.
Yeah, I had a feeling they might start going headhunting now with Captain Marvel down.
Mm-hmm.
Okoye.
Yeah, neither of these two have been in any tight alliances, so, you hate to see it.
Iron Man. 2 votes Iron Man, 2 votes Okoye. A third vote Okoye. 4 votes Okoye.
2 votes Tony, 5 votes left.
Black Widow.
Oh, okay.
Black Widow.
Oh man, could this be a 5-4-2 blindside again?
Black Widow.
Oh my god, it could be.
Look at the hyenas.
Crazy.
This season's bananas.
Black Widow.
So we're tied. 4 votes Black Widow, 4 votes Okoye, 2 votes Tony Stark right now.
Black Widow.
Wow.
11th vote.
Yeah.
Black Widow. 5-4-2. That is insane. Black Widow The tribe has spoken. And as part of a twist, a second castaway will immediately be voted out.
Yep.
What
So
is that?
Stanley says, hold up, bro.
Whoa.
One more thing. You are going to vote right now again. But we can see the votes right now if you click proceed as to who voted who, because that
Wow,
might
but this
inform how
is-
the second tribal council goes.
This is big because
wild.
the leftovers are now just in quick succession knocking 2 people out.
Mm-hmm.
So an opening for the snapped here. Ant-Man voted Black Widow. Let's just see who voted for Black Widow. I think is telling. Cap, Hawkeye. Oh, you dick!
Wow. and Tony
Dare
Stark.
you?
Well, I mean, to be fair, Black Widow did turn on them last time, right? They though. I mean, I guess, and Clint also took revenge, right? Because Black Widow voted for Captain Marvel. She saves Clint. What is Clint doing?
Yeah. Oh man.
Clint's letting her go over the edge again.
I'm very interested to see what the second vote is going to look like.
Wait,
now.
who were the 2 votes? Who were the 2 throwaway votes for Iron Man?
Clint
Hulk
never meant to jump.
Tony voted
Hulk
for
voted
Iron Man.
Hulk voted for Tony, and War Machine voted for Tony.
Oh, so Cap's work has been getting put in now.
Iron Man's best friends voted for him. That's not great. That's very bad for
especially with a vote coming up right now.
Oh no.
Okay, so Tribal Council number 2, back to back. The leftovers back at Tribal immediately. So we're going to go down from 10 to 9 here. Swift fall from grace for the leftovers.
I like this twist.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
This happened in Australian Survivor. Which season is this based on, Mike?
This is season 2, but it's not over yet. I will say that.
Oh, God. Okay. So Ant-Man has that idol. If anyone has the idol, wants to play it, now it's
Scott. Nope. I was going to say Scott could play it if it throws him off a little bit. But again, I think he feels super comfortable right now.
Mm-hmm.
Chappelle, I'm nervous, man.
Yeah, you got to play that idol, Scott.
All right, let's see. First vote goes to Okoye.
Easy vote.
Yeah. Hawkeye.
Oh.
Okoye. It's 3 votes Okoye, 1 vote Hawkeye. 4 votes Okoye.
5
votes Okoye. 6 votes Okoye. 7th vote and player leaving is Okoye.
Wow, unanimous vote against Okoye.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's not good for them because while the tribe has spoken, there is a twist.
Ooh.
So both Black Widow and Okoye are going to Exile Island. They have not been voted out of the game. They have been voted onto the other tribe.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared at all.
So
Nobody was. This twist was not revealed. The circumstances of it were not revealed until they said, like, hey, you're not going home yet. So not good for the leftovers. They just voted 2 people onto the other tribe. And you will see the other side of that because they are not going to be the only people swapping tribes.
Okay, interesting. So the leftovers have voted Okoye and Black Widow over to the snapped. They tried to snap their fingers, but they do not have.
Black Widow getting a 2nd or 3rd lease on life, depending on how you want to put it.
Okay, so let's go.
Crazy.
Let's read this twist. Let's see what's going on here. So Black Widow and Okoye, they are on Exile Beach. The snap shows up to Exile Beach. They find out that Widow and Okoye are joining their tribe, and they must choose 2 players to join the leftovers. They choose Star-Lord and the Wasp.
And I can imagine that this was like the Gamora Peter contingencies. Like Gamora's like, Peter, sacrifice yourself. Like, you'll do fine in another tribe. Get us some intel. And I can imagine Wasp probably volunteered, right? This happened in Australian Survivor. One of the people who chose to swap over was like someone who was definitively on the bottom of their tribe. And Wasp has been so rogue as of late that I can imagine she's like, let me try to start anew with another group of people and see how well I do. Plus, this means now she gets to be with Scott.
This is a good twist or a bad twist, Chappelle?
It's different for sure. I think for this game, maybe it balances the tribes a little bit. I don't think it would have killed the leftovers to lose a couple people.
Yeah.
You know, they were really running away with this, but it looks like it does give the Wasp a little bit more room to play with, and it gives Gamora more time with the Peter of her choice. So
yeah, and this also means that she can pick some people up as well, because you would think on paper like, okay, it's easy to just pick up the other 2 people, but these players have proved so volatile that I think they're going to serve as chess pieces more so than outright antagonists.
Don't love these non-elimination twists. I gotta say, it's not my favorite. Not my favorite.
Not a fan.
Not my favorite thing. Over at the leftovers, Scott's got the idol. OG alliance is intact. Nothing.
All
really
right,
new.
I forgot that Black Widow was in an alliance with Nebula and Thor.
Sort of, yeah. Nothing really new to report there. The idol's still with Shuri over at the other tribe at the Snapped. Still pretty tight with Gamora and Spidey. Nothing new to report. We've got an immunity challenge. Football.
Yeah,
football.
so it's a little bit like Australian football. They basically play Australian football where someone kicks the ball into a goal and everyone else has to basically like toss it up to that person. So it depends on who has the best feet.
Black Widow's good at kicking.
Yeah, that's very true. She can break people's necks with her legs.
We've seen Black Widow and Okoye team up in the past to do some damage, so maybe they're gonna kick some butt here on football, but they don't. No, it's the leftovers.
All right, leftovers back up. So yeah, it looks like the new leftovers tribe, which now includes Star-Lord and Wasp, are safe. You have to imagine pretty loving reunion for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
You would think so, right?
Yeah. I think they've finally bonded again, but I wonder if they look like a big target now. You know that they're on the same tribe, so you can't let them get too far together.
What can they do to shrink their target? What could they possibly do?
I think they have to create a fake, have Hank Pym make a fake idol and put it in like the Hulk's bag, and basically be like, look, don't pay attention to us. Look what Hulk's doing over there.
Yeah, maybe. All right, at the leftovers, things are pretty normal. Wasp major meltdown.
Maybe the reception is not as warm as she thought it would be. Maybe she's not fitting in as much, and she's like, "Damn it! I didn't fit in on my first tribe. I don't fit in on my second tribe. What's going on here?"
She had to go through. She had to go through the quantum realm in order to get from Exile Beach to the other tribe. So maybe she's just like time addled. Possible. All right, let's see what's happening at the Snapped. Minor disagreement between Black Widow and Spider-Man.
I think it's a spider disagreement.
Spider disagreement, lasting impact. Small fight with Gamora and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, and looks like finally another alliance has been formed. Hey. Gamora's making a girl power alliance.
All right. And Shuri and Okoye obviously are like super pumped to see each other, old friends.
Yeah. So it's Gamora and the Wakandans.
Yeah, so that's good.
Wakanda.
Yeah.
Wakanda.
Oh my gosh. Where are
but
we?
Wakanda also controls half the votes here. And so you'd have to imagine also with Peter, Gamora's got a pretty good stranglehold on the tribe right now.
One think that this is bad for Black Widow. I would think this is going to be bad for her.
I don't know. It could be time for the Winter Soldier. He just got in a fight with Gamora. And again, if Gamora's the one controlling the votes here, she could easily just be like, let's get rid of Bucky.
Shuri's got the idol. Is she going to play it? She is not going to play the idol. Stanley reads the votes. The first vote does go to the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Not great.
Second vote goes to Spider-Man.
Uh-oh.
Nah, you got to believe he's safe here.
Third vote goes to the Winter Soldier. 2 votes Winter Soldier. 1 vote Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Uh-oh. 2 votes left.
Yeah.
Black Widow.
Ooh. Oh, could this be a 2-2-2 tie?
Sick of ties.
Black Widow.
Well, Chappell.
It's a 2-2-2 vote between Black Widow, Spider-Man, and the Winter Soldier.
I wonder if Gamora's alliance plus Peter split votes between the Winter Soldier and Black Widow, and in that case, who's going to be the one to go here in the revote?
All right, there's a tie and a revote. Those in the tie will not revote.
So it all comes down to Wakanda. It comes down to Shuri, Okoye, and Gamora are going to be the 3 that vote here.
I like that.
All right. Let's see how this is going to go. Winter Soldier gets the first vote. Black Widow, the tribe has spoken.
Tough draw for Black Widow. She got another lease on life, and it turned out just not to be in the car. Interesting. I thought that the 3 of them would vote together in the revote. I wonder who voted for Bucky.
Yeah, who changed their vote on the revote? Do they say? Yeah, she voted. Gamora voted for Winter Soldier on the revote. She voted for Winter Soldier on the first vote too.
Yeah, so I can imagine that, she and assumingly, so she and Peter were like, let's vote Winter Soldier, Okoye, Shuri, you vote Black Widow.
Yeah.
And then on the revote, maybe they just didn't have a plan together at that point, and the Wakandans decided to take control in that moment and be like, we're 2 out of 3. Let's just vote Black Widow out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Okoye has a relationship with Black Widow from the last tribe.
Yeah, Black Widow voted against her.
Yeah, so she had an axe to grind. So here you go.
True.
I like Wakanda and Peter. That's a great alliance right now.
I like it. I'm into it. Yeah. I'm feeling that. Black Widow, first OG Avenger to lose here in Survivor Endgame, Australian Survivor Endgame. First to die in the actual Avengers Endgame. Feels appropriate. Art imitating, not life, I guess. Art imitating art.
And we'll see her next spring at the moment we're speaking right now.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've been very excited. The introduction of Taskmaster, David Harbour as Red Guardian has been something that I've been very excited about since we first saw him in that trailer. So there should be some good stuff if and when we get to see it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of art imitating life, imitating art. Her getting voted off her tribe and getting a new lease on life in her standalone film, which we assume she will also die again, or at least that'll be the end of what we see her. So I'm looking forward to the Black Widow, and what the future Black Widow will hold. The re-up.
Yeah, I like Florence Pugh, so I'm excited to see what they're going to do.
All right, like the It Girl of 2019, Florence Pugh is.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to pass that off, and so I'm down for that. I think that seems
right, especially if your Young Avengers theory holds too.
That'd be great. That'd be great. All right, so that's it for Black Widow. She's gone. Leftovers tribe. Let's see, anything new? Nope, not really. Nothing really new over the Leftovers. Over at the Snapped. No, nothing really new.
But Gamora now is in an alliance with literally everyone except Bucky.
Yeah,
so you have to imagine he is in danger, girl.
You would think so. Palm Beach is the reward challenge.
I just saw Heavy Cart, and I'm going to assume the Leftovers win.
Yeah, that's a good assumption.
Good assumption.
A good assumption. Leftovers are going to the ice cream parlor.
Oh, Thor is so excited. This is when he turns into Fat Thor.
Yeah, Fat Thor is about to show up. Loose change is the immunity challenge. Something about discs and barrels and parachutes and keys and yada yada yada. The Snapped.
Oh, the Snaps stick together, which is good for Winter Soldier because he would have been screwed royally.
He was in trouble. Yeah, he was in trouble for sure. So the Leftovers are gonna go to Tribal Council. They're gonna take out another person. You would think maybe this is bad for the Wasp or Star-Lord. Big, strong bond with Rocket and War Machine.
Yeah, it seems like they're really getting along. America's ass has dissolved.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and Cap are donezo, and it looks like another alliance is forming here. Oh, this is a biggin. Oh, okay, this is interesting. So, Ant-Man, Hawkeye, Iron Man, and Rocket have picked up the 2 swappies in Star-Lord and Wasp to form a 6-person alliance, and that is a controlling number, ladies and gentlemen.
This gets hard to follow, though, because aren't Rocket and War Machine tight?
They're cool, but, if he's after Cap, then this doesn't look great for America's ass. And Ant-Man left him hanging, so...
and this could be the thing where Iron Man says it's time to mobilize the forces against Steve. Let's pick up these 2 stragglers. Scott, you've got Hope. Bring her in. And so this might be the death of Captain America Part 3.
Oh, God.
Yeah, let's vote that ass out.
All right, let's see if they're going to vote that ass out. Over at the Snapped first, we'll see what's going on over there. Shuri, everyone loves Shuri. Who doesn't?
Oh, wait. Gamora leaves Wakanda.
She's done. She's done.
Oh, well, now this makes it a very interesting situation, though, because on the surface, it was Gamora was in an alliance with everyone but Winter Soldier. Now, we have Gamora and Peter. We have Okoye and Shuri, and guess who's in the middle now?
Yeah, in the Adam Klein side.
Winter Soldier now became from the bottom to the most important role in the tribe. Should they go to Tribal Council again?
All right, let's see what's going to happen next. All right, Tribal Council. Ant-Man's got that idol. Does he want to play it? He will play it for Iron Man.
Wow.
This has to be a move against Cap, right? You gotta believe that these two are coming after each other.
That feels like a legitimate like insult to Captain America of like, I am not, I had this idol the whole time. We broke our alliance and now I'm using it on the specific one person that you like the least in this tribe right now.
I flew to Germany for you. Like, you never showed me the respect I deserve.
Yeah, you never called me afterwards. I was under house arrest for so long.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Iron Man's going to be safe. Any votes against Iron Man will not count. Stan Lee will read the votes. First vote, Hawkeye.
Oh, no. Did Scott waste his idol? Because they usually stack the idol votes in first.
Second vote goes to Hawkeye. That's 3 votes for Hawkeye. That's 4 votes against Hawkeye.
But there are 11 votes total, so and we'll see what this new alliance of 6 is doing.
4 votes Hawkeye. 5th vote Hawkeye.
Okay, this might be where the alliance of 6 kicks in.
The Hulk.
Ooh.
He has been tight with Cap the whole time.
The Hulk.
Wow. The OG Avengers are going down now. There was a huge phase 3 boot, and now they're turning on the phase 1 people.
The Hulk.
Gotta get out these physical threats. It looks like it's been Hulk.
Oh my God.
The Hulk. Yeah. It's 5 for Hawkeye, 5 for Hulk, 1 vote left. It's the Hulk.
Major blindside.
You do not like him when he's angry, and he is angry right now.
Yeah. A gratuitous exit as the Hulk stomps off the tribal council.
No, he leaps out of tribal council. He does a big Hulk jump.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, wow. We're approaching the merge. Got to get these.
I gotta say, with the exception of the Okoye vote, the Leftovers tribe has been playing cutthroat. Nearly every vote has been a blindside here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So it looks like that alliance of 6 held, where Ant-Man, Hawkeye, Tony, Rocket, and then Star-Lord and Wasp
voted
all
out
stuck together, leaving War Machine, Thor, and
Captain America,
and Nebula on the outs right now.
Oh man.
The story of this flip is definitely Tony, right? So Tony was with them voting out the hyenas, and then he realized, like maybe I should just go with the hyenas. So it looks like they all have turned on the Hulk, and it worked out for him. He bought himself some more time for sure.
Yeah, it's a bummer to lose the Hulk here in the pre-merge. He was, I don't love the Hulk in Infinity War, especially because you barely see him. But he's so great in Endgame.
Right. So, and I guess I forget I don't know if I haven't listened to your Endgame podcast yet. Do you think this is like a soft wrap on the Hulk? Because I'm trying to think of like, what will they do with Ruffalo now? Especially like this feels like a logical conclusion to the Hulk with him sort of being the best of both worlds. Tony was one of his biggest links to the main Avengers, and now he's out of the picture. Like, I can imagine him actually pulling a Clint and like retiring and going off to the sunset while he's, hitchhiking in the background.
Nah, I don't think so. I think they're not done with Ruffalo as Hulk. They've got a She-Hulk show coming up. I would expect to have like Ruffalo as a supporting character in that.
Do we know if they're going to the comic origins that Tatiana Maslany's character is going to be Bruce Banner's cousin?
We don't know that for sure, but I don't know why we would think otherwise. It tracks. That's a big piece of the character. So I would expect so. So I think we'll see the Hulk there. I think that he's going to pop up in that capacity. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, Ruffalo probably isn't burnt out the same way that Chris Evans is and Downey is. Like, he hasn't had to like carry his own movie. I think that he's got a pretty good gig. So I expect we'll see more of the Hulk. I don't know, Chappelle, do you think that we're done with the Hulk, or do you think that we haven't seen the last one yet?
Well, Mike made a good point, with Cap being retired and Nat being dead, so it kind of, those were his links to everyone else, romantically or elsewise, but I think we have more because he's so well liked, Ruffalo in general as the Hulk. And so I just feel like there's so much more that you can do with him. you have to create, a separate like kind of storyline. So She-Hulk will be a perfect time to do that. So I'm hoping that we get more Hulk, but I guess at this point you never know. It's 2020.
It's 2020. You never know
it's
anymore.
2020.
All right. So the leftovers are now at 10 people versus the Snapped's 5. 15 people.
We are in the end game of the pre-merge now.
Where's the merge? Which episode is the merge?
I believe it might be 14 or 15. So we've got a few more episodes left and a few more twists, if you believe it.
God.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my God.
I'm definitely going to go watch Australian Survivor Season 2 now.
I mean, you should, first of all, because it is the best Australian Survivor season.
It is, of the ones I've seen, for sure. Leftovers idol. It's currently hidden. No one's got it.
All right, I forgot that Scott wasted his idol on Tony.
Scott wasted his idol. That original Captain America crew is still hanging tight.
Oh yeah, and I forgot. So Nebula and Thor might be the tightest pair in the game right now. They're really looking at, maybe is it like the loose Guardians connection, even though now they have a Guardian. Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing as well. Star-Lord and Thor are on the same tribe, and they did not see eye to eye when they met.
As Guardians. Spidey and Gamora still tight. Wakanda still tight. Let's go and check out what's going to happen at the immunity challenge. Smash and grab. Well, they got rid of the Hulk at probably the wrong
time.
Oh, no.
And how shocked do you think the Snap Tribe was to see that Hulk was gone? Not only for the physical aspect, but because the assumption would be like, okay, just pick off one of the two stragglers, and far be from that happening.
Blown away, I would guess. It was a big mistake for the leftovers because the Snapped win immunity here.
Yeah, the momentum has swung. Yeah.
Shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it.
But they're going to win a trip to Tribal Council to vote someone to compete for a special reward. Surprise, surprise. Nobody's getting voted out in this episode.
Oh, God. Come on. All right. Major fight between Iron Man and War Machine. War Machine's pissed that he's been left out of the Iron Man.
Wow, so the friendship is over.
Hawkeye and Thor bonding slightly. Thor's like, I've never really taken the time to get to know you.
No, I think Thor turns to Hawkeye and goes, I see you copied my hair.
Yeah. Not thrilled about that. War Machine
has abandoned Thor, Cap, and Nebula. Interesting. So off with Tony and is now breaking it off with Cap as well.
Interesting. All right.
I don't know. He's a free agent in this game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rhodey's a free agent. He's trying to. I think he's trying to get picked up by Tony. He's hoping that he can work his way back in. It doesn't look great, but he's hoping.
I think so too. Sure, he's got that idol. Spider-Man, Winter Soldier, yet another minor disagreement.
Oh my God!
Very coded language.
Wait, yet another alliance between 5 people is forming here. Oh wait, no, it's not. Okoye has left Shuri in the dust.
Why? What's going on?
She found out Shuri voted out her brother.
I think that might have been it, though. Like, they were just chatting of, like, what happened to T'Challa, by the way? And Shuri's like, oh, yeah, so he voted for me in the first vote, and then I voted him out. And Okoye's like, I'm done. No, I can't do this.
You betrayed the king. All right, so Tribal Council, the Snapped.
So they're going to vote for one person. So they're voting for a person to go on a special trip to earn a power.
Okay, so the castaways will vote for someone to compete for the ultimate reward. Gamora gets the first vote. Peter Parker gets the second vote. Gamora, where is Gamora going?
So Gamora, well, first of all, it makes sense. Gamora, I think, is like the social butterfly on this tribe. Mm-hmm. So Gamora is going to go on a special trip here to another island at night. She has the ability to win a super idol in a manner of speaking. So we'll see if she finds it. And if so, then we'll go from there.
Okay. So we'll see what's going to happen there. Ultimate reward. Gamora. She wins reward. She wins the super idol.
So this super idol in this case is very special because this is 2 powers in one. She has a regular idol, and she has an idol nullifier. And she has 2 separate halves, so she has 2 powers, basically, that take the form of one idol.
And if she keeps it together, she can use it if she's gotten voted out?
No, the super idol just has a different term down under.
So there's no, utility to keeping the super idol together?
Yeah, she basically just has, one token, but it basically means she has a regular idol and an idol nullifier now. If we're doing the lower thirds, that's what it should pop
now,
up.
This being a Brant Steele, could Gamora nullify her own idol?
100%, especially if it's 2014 and 2018 Gamora talking to each other and trying to figure out what to do. But yeah, Gamora, who is in a very powerful position on the tribe, just became that much more powerful.
Wow. Chappell, your reaction to finding out that Australian Survivor has a super idol that is a hidden immunity idol plus an idol nullifier.
Yeah, I was going to go watch Australian Survivor season 2, but now I'm not.
I mean, to be fair, actually, this is different from the one that was on the show. The one that was on the show was just an idol nullifier.
All right, because I'm a little punch drunk from all the advantages in American Survivor. So this is, I was like, oh, that's a lot. But yeah, I'm impressed that Gamora was able to basically get a unanimous vote for this. Like, she's been running the tribe, and they support her.
Well, I think it was pretty much a thing of like, I'll get this for the tribe. Just vote for me. I can do this. And I think everyone was like, sure, you're the one volunteering. Yeah. Maybe you would think Okoye and Shuri would vote together until that moment when Okoye broke away. So I think it was very clear that Gamora shows how much she has this tribe on lock right now.
Okay. Yeah, great game.
Great game. All right, so let's see what's going on in episode 12. No one's been voted out, so we're still here. As part of a twist, new tribes are randomly assigned.
Drop your buffs. We're swapping.
Yeah, so people are stepping through the portals and showing up, and they're stepping through portals onto new beaches. And so these are going to be the new tribes. The Leftovers, Hawkeye, Okoye, Rocket Raccoon, Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Thor, War Machine, and the Winter Soldier. The Snapped shall now be Ant-Man, Captain America, Gamora, Iron Man, Nebula, Shuri, and the Wasp. A lot going on here. So Gamora is separated from both of her Peters.
Yeah, and Scott and Hope stick together. We'll see, I guess, how much that new alliance of 6 on the Leftovers tribe stuck together. I think they actually might be the controlling majority, or at least have a pretty good dent into the Snap. We do have 2 idols on one tribe. Actually, 2 idols on one tribe in Gamora and Shuri, and 1 idol gets to be found on the Leftovers. Things got shaken up tribe-wise, so this really puts a whole new life on the game.
Yes, and Captain America and Iron Man on the same tribe, and we know that they are kind of like a little bit at odds with each other right now, so is that going to bear out? That's very interesting. I think the Snap tribe is the one to watch right now.
Oh, yeah, especially they're also an odd number, too, though I think the tie is apparently current even numbers, so maybe the Leftovers has the more messy vote.
Yeah, and the Leftovers does have like both Peters. Yep. So there's that, and we know that they have been on the same page. And then the Winter Soldier is a wild card. So
Okoye is on a tribe with 4 people that voted her out previously, which I think it might be a big axe to grind, or a spear in Okoye's case.
Okay.
Yeah, not great.
All right, let's find out what's going on in these tribes. Over at the Leftovers tribe, idol's hidden. No one knows where it's at. Nothing really new.
So Thor's been separated from his allies. As you said before, Spider-Man's been separated. It looks like a controlling alliance of 6 on the Leftovers tribe got split down the middle. With Hawkeye, Rocket, and Star-Lord on one side, and Ant-Man, Iron Man, and Wasp on the other. So I guess it depends on how much they're going to stick together here.
Yeah, can they maintain some measure of control? Meanwhile, Gamora has her idol nullifier. Shuri has the idol from the original Snapped Beach. So we'll see what form that takes as we move in to the next little bit. We've got a reward challenge, idle hands.
Oh, this is the fun one where you hold it on a little pedestal and you have to like swat it out of the other person's hand.
I like that.
Okay.
Which again would have been great for the Hulk, or even if there was a Mr. Fantastic in this universe, this would be his challenge.
It'd be over. Yeah. The Snapped. No, this is the new Leftovers. My mistake. The new Leftovers are going to win. Hard to predict this now because things are so mixed up. But the new Leftovers
and with the Hulk gone, which would have been like just the slam dunk for any physical challenge.
That's right. They win a personalized sweet treat plus survival gear.
Yeah, so they're like, hey, here's some candy. Oh, and also like here's some flint.
What is the personalized sweet treat?
So I believe it's that like they gave each and every castaway like their favorite dessert. You know, they like to do a lot of personalized rewards on Australian Survivor. Like, oh, here's your object from home. You know, here's your letter from home. So here they're like, oh yeah, you wrote down what your favorite dessert was before coming onto the show. This is what you get. And Thor could not be happier. He had the ice cream a couple episodes ago. Now he gets more dessert.
What is his dessert, you think? Like a beer float? It's like ice cream and a beer?
I would like that. I would like that a lot.
Yeah,
I would
beer
like for him to
float.
have that. Yes, of course.
Chappelle's personalized sweet treat candy corn.
You act like I eat candy corn all the time. It's not like it's the only thing I eat. It's just seasonally something that,
kind of readily available.
For the video version, for those who are not watching the video, as Chappelle is literally eating from a jar of candy corn.
Oh, I love
if
it.
you have been watching, I have been eating from candy corn, of course, since about the third episode. So.
That is incredible. Incredible.
Spectacular. All right, let's see what's going to happen at the immunity challenge. Wait up! One male and one female from each tribe must hold a bucket while the opposing tribe fills it with as much water.
Right. So this is like a water version of the infamous throw the coconuts into the net challenge.
Yeah. All right. So leftovers, even though it's a new permutation, that name is strong. Good branding on the leftovers, Chappelle, as the leftovers are going to win immunity.
Oh yeah, the last remaining Avengers for us. So yeah, I'm not mad at the branding, and I'm not shocked that they won that one either.
All right. Well, and this also means the more interesting tribe in your opinion is going to tribal council.
I'm nervous but excited to see what's going to happen there with the Snap tribe. Nothing happened. Nothing happened with the
I think they're too much in like a sugar crash now. They're all just like laid out like, okay, we expended ourselves during that challenge. Let's rest for a few days.
Yeah, absolutely. So over at the Snapped, Gamora has the hidden immunity idol. She has her super idol, her idol nullifier. Shuri has her idol. There is this alliance.
Is someone going to leave it?
Wasp has decided to leave the alliance that was forged back at the leftovers. So she, who came back here with Iron Man and Ant-Man, is not going to be a part of that. She wants nothing to do with that.
Could it be that either one of Shuri or Gamora, who, let's remember, they did not vote Wasp out. She volunteered to go over to the other side. Was she like, I want to join up with them. I realized I made a mistake. Wasp is volatile AF in this season.
Yeah. Hope Van Dyne just trying to prove herself right now.
Yeah, she's changing her mind like she changes her hairstyles.
She is. All right. The Snapped goes to tribal council, and so there are some advantages that could come into play here. Let's see.
I do wonder if Shuri plays the idol, if Gamora just is petty and just plays that idol nullifier.
Well, how does the nullifier work in this case? That it's not the same as the American Survivor rules where you have to call your shot.
Nope, it's pretty much like someone plays the idol, and then you're like, yeah, I'm gonna nullify that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Interesting. Shuri's got that idol. Gamora's got her idol and her nullifier. Is anything going to happen here? Because now would be the time to start playing some stuff.
Nope.
No.
Well, this will still be interesting though. So 7 votes.
All right, Stan Lee will read the votes. The first vote, Steve Rogers.
Oh man, this could be it.
Ant-Man, Scott Lang. Ant-Man, Scott Lang. 2 votes, Ant-Man.
Should we be worried about Ant-Man and Maybe.
Ant-Man, Scott Lang, 3 votes for Scott Lang.
Should have held on to that idol, Scott.
Should have held on to hope.
Yeah.
Steve Rogers, Captain America, 2 votes for Steve. Ant-Man, Scott Lang, the tribe has spoken.
Wow, so even Scott's alliance turned on him. Maybe they were signaled by Hope leaving and said like, let's just cut him loose right now.
Yeah. So Iron Man and Ant-Man stuck together to vote for Captain America.
The Man Show
stuck together to vote for Captain America. Everyone else voted out. Ant-Man, Paul Rudd, such a social threat, Chappelle, that maybe they're just like, they don't want him to gain any more momentum if they bring him into the next part of the game.
Yeah, he's so likable. Even his sister can fall in love with him. Oh, is that?
Oh my God, I'm totally in love with Ant-Man.
I love Josh.
I love Scott.
I think that. I mean, also he just played that idol on Tony. I can imagine that they're like, okay, let's cut him loose before he can find anything. Even though there is nothing, I can imagine that Ant-Man was furiously searching the camp still, and that drew a lot of attention to him. So yeah, I think Ant-Man, for being so fantastically under the radar in the first half of this pre-merge, I honestly think him playing the idol on Tony was what ended his game in Endgame.
Wow. So Ant-Man is yet another one of these like phase 3 heroes to go, because technically he's phase 2, but he's really phase 3. So Ant-Man joining the other phase 3 heroes feels appropriate. Wasp, watch your back, because there's a trend here.
Watch your stinger.
She jumped ship at the right time. This Ant-Man, he took the L for this one, but this is an indictment on Tony's game for sure. His allies are going left and right.
Yes.
Yeah, he's cursed. They're sort of like they're the burned arm on his body that he has they're getting killed off. Yeah, it's interesting. But Tony survives still, and we get closer and closer to like the original three. If the original three make the merge, I think I'll be happy with this first half. And as you talked about on your Ant-Man and the Wasp podcast, certainly not the last we're seeing of Scott Lang. He might be interacting with some very, very interesting people.
It seems like they're really they're sizing up his role, much like Ant-Man can do. It seems like they're really expanding on Ant-Man's role in the MCU. So I'm interested to see what that looks like. I know maybe a little more so than other people are, but I love Paul Rudd. So if they've got fun plans for him, I'm on board for sure.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, episode 13. We've got a tribe of 8 versus a tribe of 6.
And the tribe of 6 breaks down evenly by former tribe lines, which could be interesting if they decide to go to that.
We'll find out. Yeah, can Cap and Iron Man bury the shield? Can they?
Well, Shield did get buried in a certain season, right?
Yeah, that's right. Nothing really happening over at the Leftovers tribe. Nothing happening over at the Snapped to speak of. Really still pretty loyal between Cap and Nebula. So that's basically all that's going on.
Yeah, so it's basically like Cap and Nebula and then Tony. And like you said, it's basically like, can those 3 join together to protect each other?
All right, immunity challenge time. Shower caddies.
I think this is the one where you have to keep you have to hold we've seen this in David vs. Goliath. You hold the sandbags above your head. If you tip it, the water trough tips over and you get covered.
Shower caddies. Okay, who's going to win shower caddies? It's the Leftovers. Strong branding.
Wow. So who do we think is Thor like the physically strongest person left in the game?
Yeah, he's the God of Thunder, man. God of Thunder.
Bucky's no slouch, but he's no Thor either. So between the two of them, I think they got it.
Yeah, now the password of strongest Avenger makes sense.
Think about this. Think about this crew. You've got Bucky, who's a super soldier. You've got War Machine, who's got Iron Man tech. You've got Thor. He's the God of Thunder. Star-Lord is like half a Celestial. Spider-Man has the strength of the spider in human form. Rocket is tiny, so not him so much. And there's Hawkeye, and he's not that great. But Okoye is like the greatest fighter on the planet. So yeah, I think the Leftovers tribe is pretty stacked.
Right, it was a very good draw for the Leftovers tribe.
Very good draw. Over at the Leftovers, anything going on? That idol has been hidden, and it's been found by Lil Pete. Spider-Man has an idol.
That makes me so happy. I love it.
Good job, Iron Man 2 kid.
Look at this showmance. They both have idols. Yeah,
this is an outright power couple.
Yeah.
I hope this is a tease for Phase 4, Chappelle. I hope that Phase 4 is like going to take us to like a big Spider-Man Gamora showmance.
That's going to be an episode of What If that I think nobody wants to watch. Of like, yeah, What If was a really fun series until that one episode when it was What If Gamora romances Peter Parker?
Different Peter.
I'm calling the cops.
Rocket and Thor bond strongly. Finally, we're getting canon here. This is the kiss of death, though. Thor is impressing the rest of the team.
Which is always a little dangerous. Hawkeye is out on Iron Man, Rocket, and Star-Lord. He's just like not buying.
Well, I think this is a bleeding alliance, though, right? Because Wasp left it, and then and now Hawkeye has left the alliance, and he made a final 2 with Bucky.
Yeah, the bimbos.
Yeah, essentially, I think they're like sort of the also rans, sort of like nobody really gives us any time of day.
Exactly. Yeah, no one really cares. No one cares about these guys. All right, the Snapped. What's happening over at the Snapped? Gamora's got her stuff. Shuri's got her thing. Nothing else has happened.
So, do we think this might be finally the end of Tony Stark?
Oh, gosh.
It looks like it's coming.
Let's see. All right. So, people at this tribal, just to reset, it's Captain America, Iron Man, and Nebula from the original Leftovers, Gamora, Shuri, and Wasp from the original Snapped. Will people be able to hold together? Is Iron Man just in trouble because of how the vote played out last time? Will any special artifacts come into play?
Yeah, we have a few of those. Iron Man is in trouble, though.
Yeah. I would love to see Hela host tribal council, if only for someone to bring up a fake idol, and she just goes, fake, and then throws it into like the hellfire.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Shuri, she's got her stuff. Gamora's got her stuff. If anyone wants to play your stuff, now it's time to play your stuff. Shuri
plays
is
her
playing
Iron
an idol for Iron Man.
Iron Man is getting so much love, but could Gamora use her
You do
idol
have the nullifier.
nullifier?
Any votes cast against Iron Man will not count.
She
Gamora
Ah!
uses her idol nullifier
Wow.
on Iron Man. He is exposed.
My God,
Armor
they just gave
bypassed.
him their Obadiah Stane, taking the arc reactor and being like, "Oh, you need this? Buy," and throwing it away.
Any votes cast against Iron Man will not count. Gamora is going to play her idol on herself.
Did we get Advantage get in episode 14 of Australian Survivor Endgame?
I told you I didn't like it. I told you I didn't like it. I was not a fan.
Gamora has negated an idol and has used an idol on herself. So Gamora is safe. Everybody else is subject to the vote. Stanley will read the votes.
Oh my God.
And the first vote goes to Gamora. It doesn't count.
Okay. Come on.
Second vote goes to Gamora. It does not.
Yeah.
Oh my Queen
Yes,
Gamora.
Queen. Third vote. Gamora does not count.
Holy
Shuri
moly.
just exposed everything. Oh my gosh.
Iron Man.
It's a wrap.
Wow.
It's a
Iron
wrap.
Man. That's a
Wow.
wrap. On
Okay.
Iron
Oh my
Man.
God. Okay. So wait. So this is insane. This is insane on so many levels. So this was a 3-3. We were correct. It was potentially going to be a no votes tribal council, but Gamora nullified. But it wasn't down tribal lines. Gamora joined up with, looks like, Cap and Nebula.
Mm-hmm.
They said,
Yeah.
okay, we want to turn on Tony. And Gamora's like, I'm with you. Meanwhile, Shuri and Wasp were like, we're Team Tony. And so they said, let's vote for Gamora. And so Shuri played that idol for Tony, saying, thinking he was in trouble. And Gamora essentially prevented a no votes tribal council from happening.
Wow.
Gamora's just trying to make it to the. She's got to make it to the merge to get back to her Peters, and so
she needs to be back with her Pete's.
Wow. I mean, this is an incredible move on Gamora's part. I know at the time I was like, why is she using both halves of this idol here? But she needed to.
She did. That was a really, really strong play. Very, very good read of the situation. We were really excited to see what could happen here at the Snap Tribe, and everybody popped. We lose Iron Man here. Sad, considering we've lost Iron Man in the real deal of the MCU. That is one who I would say we probably will not see again. I think.
We'll see him in Black Widow apparently.
Oh, really? Is that the?
Yeah, the news is that from back in the day was that RDJ was going to appear as Tony Stark in the Black Widow movie.
Is that news or is that a rumor?
I don't know.
If I don't know that like off the top of my head, that feels like that's like a rumor thing. That feels like one of those.
It looks like there were like it was rumors, and apparently there's like a Cinema Blend article where he had like a gray, sarcastic, murky response to those rumors. He said it would be nice if they notified me. Forewarned is forearmed. So maybe we get like archival Tony Stark footage. Maybe it's like Black Widow hearing about what Tony Stark is doing, and that segues into the events of Iron Man 2. But yeah, so he'll make an appearance, but I think. From a timeline perspective, like moving forward, this is the end of Tony Stark. But true to his nature in Endgame, he went out with an absolute bang in this season.
Yeah, I mean, to go out in that capacity is pretty ridiculous. Pretty wild to lose Iron Man there. Captain America wins the fight against Iron Man ultimately here, Chappelle.
Oh yeah, even on a different tribe, like Captain America has been, he has basically been after Tony the entire time. You know, there's been a Cold War, and now that they ended up on the Snap Tribe together, it was just a matter of trying to find somebody who else, like who also like believed in the Cap theory of like, you know, Tony's bad for us, and so it was just a matter of time. Honestly, I don't know how Tony won over Shuri. That was a good move on his part.
I think it could be like respect for like science. You know, Shuri and Tony are both sort of big inventors in that regard. So, and I'm sure that Shuri,
Lord knows, we need more respect for science. So.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And maybe Wasp had that as well. That Tony's like, listen, you guys know me. You guys want to work with me. Work with me. And he was able to. He could have done it had Gamora not had both halves of that super because I do wonder if it had tied up 3-3. You know, would Cap and Nebula have stuck with Gamora or would they have swapped?
Yeah. Well,
it was tough on Tony, man.
That was a heart racer.
One of the best tribal councils we've seen all season, I would say. Probably like the best played round. Like everybody did well. Like you can't be mad at Iron Man. He did his best. Like he got Shuri, someone he just met, to play an idol for him. So strong play from just about everybody.
And Shuri,
involved.
even Shuri, like you might say, oh, she wasted her idol, but like she made a good move. And this is, I believe, Gamora played the first idol correctly. Everyone else, the idol has made no consequence whatsoever. And here they both did, and now there's an idol out in the open on this tribe too.
You know, I think it's like that thing that Tyson has said about Survivor, Chappelle, where like if you've been voted out before, like you know what it feels like. You know what it's like. You sense it coming. Gamora, who has literally been killed, she's like, I'm not going to be killed again. I know what to do. Yeah,
it's invigorating for her, and. You hate to see Tony go out like that, but I mean, Gamora just has a stranglehold on this game. Honestly, I'm ready to see what happens when Gamora and Cap actually have to go against each other, because Gamora has been actively destroying everyone in her path, but Cap is insulated, it seems, and so I'm interested to see what happens now. This is good.
Mike, so this is the final pre-merge episode?
I did not say that.
Did not say that.
This might be a special episode.
Oh God! All right, well, give us the warning, because we're gonna stop right as we get to the merge.
So episode 16 is the merge. So we have two episodes left.
We've got 2 episodes left. Oh God! Oh gee! All right, let's see what's going on over in the leftovers. Spidey's got that idol.
Do you think that Gamora had her own Spidey sense that Peter had found the idol, and so she was okay with playing hers?
Maybe. I like that now Rocket and Star-Lord have been abandoned, or Tony has been voted out, so now they're just stuck together.
Yeah, which makes sense, right? Because I feel like they were the two that had the most respect for each other in the Guardians.
Guardians game is going on there.
Something like a marriage of convenience. Shout out to AJ Mass.
Convenience, yep. AJ sticking. All right, let's see what's happening. Reward challenge, sheepdog trials.
This is a blindfold challenge.
Okay. Who's going to win the blindfold challenge? It's going to be the Snap.
Which makes sense. I think Cap is a fantastic guider and caller.
Yeah, great leader. You know, you'd follow him to the gates of hell with the blindfold on. So the Snapped win an Italian feast.
Yeah, they're gonna dine no shawarma, unfortunately, in Tony's absence. Not only that, they get to choose 2 people from the losing tribe to join them on the reward.
How about that?
That's something they like to do in Australian Survivor. They like to temporarily kidnap people and bring them over to the tribe for a reward.
I think that's
so what are the odds that Gamora goes and gets Peter? One of the
Peters.
No!
It's the gun gang of Rocket and Bucky. Do you think Rocket's still asking Bucky for that gun that he wanted to back in Infinity War?
100%.
I don't know, but this is like bad news for Rocket potentially, because when he goes back to his tribe, he's going to be filled with veal parmesan, and now Thor is going to be like hungrier than ever, and he's really going to want to eat like a recently fattened up Rocket raccoon. Feels like that's something that might happen. All right. Pick up sticks, immunity challenge. Pick up sticks, feels straightforward. And the leftovers, got it. The leftovers win immunity. Maybe Rocket smuggled back some leftovers from the Italian feast. Don't ask how.
Where he put them.
Oh my gosh.
The leftovers win. They also win a chance to eavesdrop on the losing tribe's tribal council.
If only they had the chance to drop in on the last tribal council, they would have seen a lot
of drama.
I would imagine that Stanley's like, all right, let's just address what happened last time.
Yeah. Spider-Man's got the idol. Hawkeye and Thor, they're finding something in common. They're like, hey, we're both Avengers.
Yeah, and listen, now the Phase 1 people, they and Cap are the last 3, right? Because Black Widow's gone, Hulk's gone, Tony's gone. It's down to them now.
Yeah. Rocket and Star-Lord,
they're done.
Feeling it anymore. Star-Lord's mad that Rocket got picked over him.
Yeah, well, I think Rocket has done a much better job than Star-Lord of like actually finding bonds with people. And so maybe Rocket's like, I don't need Quill at this moment.
Yeah, there's a better Peter on the field. The Snap, the idol, it's still hidden. Captain America, he's impressing the rest of the team.
Oh, no.
Not great.
Oh, no.
And they lost the challenge, too. Not great.
Yeah, not great.
Not great.
The Wasp, she's also impressing the rest of the team.
Okay, so maybe this leaves things up in the air now.
All right, so let's see what's going to happen at Tribal Council, where the leftovers are going to eavesdrop on the Snapped. No one will be voted out. Instead, one player has the option to mutiny to the other tribe.
And it's Shuri.
Shuri has decided to mutiny.
I don't blame her.
Yeah, it makes sense. She was on the other side of the vote, and she just had an idol nullified against her. I think she's like, let me bail ASAP. Sorry, Wasp.
Wow.
I'm getting the hell out of Dodge.
Wait,
so now
what are the
we are
mechanics
facing
on that. Shuri's just like first to stand up. She's like, me.
Yeah, it was at the tribal council. It was like first to raise your hand gets to go. And that's what happened. It was actually a very similar scenario in Australian Survivor where like someone was swap screwed and their other person got voted out. And so they're like, great, I'm going to go over to the other tribe. And so, yeah, it's a pretty inconsequential tribal council where they go there, they think they're voting someone out, but instead Shuri, who probably thought she was in danger and probably was, decides to cut bail and jump ship right there. So now it is 9v4 for the last, and I mean the last pre-merge episode of the season.
Okay, so this is the final episode that we are going to get into for part 1 of Australian Survivor Endgame. So let's see if we go out with a bang. All right, so at the Leftovers tribe, anything new to report? Nada, not really. Let's see, is there anything to report over at the Snapped? Nope, not really.
Well, it's interesting though, because so we have Cap and Nebula, and then we have Gamora and Wasp are the 4 that are left. It seems like Cap and Nebula are together. If Gamora and Shuri and Wasp don't get their votes together, these two might have the plurality here.
This immunity challenge is called Hangover, which is the perpetual state for Thor, the god of thunder. Tribes must divide into 2 groups and hang on a rope, balancing on a huge A-frame over the water. The last person to drop wins.
You'd have to imagine that the Leftovers win this because it's Thor's on their tribe.
Spider-Man's got webs.
I'm rooting for the Snap though. I just hate to see them go down to 3 people at this point. This is insane.
It's a lot. All right, who's gonna win?
Hey!
Snap!
Oh, it's Snap!
A win for Chappell.
So Captain America, Gamora, Nebula, and the Wasp all making the merge here.
Great. So they'll be in part 2, and that's exciting, especially because like I'm a huge Cap guy, and I want to see Cap in the next episode of this thing. Nebula, an MVP from Endgame. Obviously, we got Kate from Lost, so I'm thrilled about that. But it's Gamora. Gamora is the star of the show.
We need more Gamora, and
we need more Gamora, and so we're gonna get her in part 2 of Australian Survivor Endgame. So this is very, very exciting. That's a very good development. I mean, just look at her in her like little thumbnail here. She's so proud. She's so happy. She's like, yeah I'm coming.
And I was scared because Australian Survivor, because of the length of the pre-merge, there tend to be like big players who tend to go out like right before the merge. And I was nervous that was going to happen to Gamora, but not today, Mephisto, not today.
The daughters of Thanos are sticking around.
All right, that's true. Thanos is gone, but his daughters live on.
His daughters remain.
They're excited to see what happens with them too. Yeah. Gamora, she's been running everything, but I've been watching Nebula, and she's been making, that's Amy Pond. That's my girl.
I love Karen Gillan. Yeah, but I think that and I think it's interesting because Cap and Nebula is, I think, one of those very understated pairs, and they're making the merge together, which I think might do some damage here.
All right. Yeah. So the Leftovers, that idol, it's currently hidden. Spidey's got it. We'll see if he's going to end up playing it. Rocket and Star-Lord, they're reconnected.
They said maybe we were too harsh here to leave you, Quill. And now that we're going to Tribal Council, I want to, put in some safeguards.
The Peters are bonding slightly. They're like, we're this close to seeing Gamora again.
And we're each giving her a kiss on the cheek.
Don't we want to just like hold tight for a little while longer, get to the merge, get back to Gamora.
Another. So it looks like the
Hawkeye and the Winter Soldier.
The himbos are done. Bucky and Clint are donezo.
They're done. That's over with.
So this is going to be a really interesting vote. Actually, we'll go through the Snapped first.
Yeah, is anything going on in the Snap? Captain America still impressing the rest of the team. That's a cliffhanger for next time. Don't forget.
Listen, we've already gotten rid of Black Widow, so all the cliffhangers are done.
Wow, no, Gamora's still hanging out. All right, Tribal Council, the final Tribal Council here of part 1 of the pre-merge, of this 3-hour pre-merge.
So this is really interesting because we have Hawkeye, Okoye, Rocket, Shuri, lots of like back half of the alphabet people. Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Thor, War Machine, Winter Soldier. So Shuri just hopped over to try to escape the vote. It might come back around for her.
We'll see.
You have Star-Lord has been making some bonds. Thor and Rocket became a type thing. Rocket and War Machine became a type thing. So Rocket might be like the key cog in this machine right now.
It's certainly possible. Spider-Man's got that idol. Is he gonna try and ferret it into the merge, or is he gonna play it now and be safe? He's not gonna play it.
Oh boy, Spidey.
His Spidey sense is not tingling.
Peter tingles are not coming.
The Peter tingles aren't happening, so we got to trust him. But the lingering tension is what's happened to everybody from Phase 3 so far. So can he reverse the curse, or is he in trouble? We'll find out in a second here. Stan Lee will read the votes one last time here in part 1 of Australian Survivor Endgame. First vote goes to Peter Parker.
I wasn't ready.
No.
You gotta want to keep him away from the merge with Gamora. You just got to.
Second vote goes to the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
The third vote, Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
I'm stressed.
The Winter Soldier. That's 2 votes Winter Soldier, 2 votes Peter Parker.
5 votes left.
That's a lot.
Right. Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Spider-Man. It's 3 votes for Spider-Man. Winter Soldier. We're at a 3-3 right now.
This is going to be close.
Spider-Man. It's 4 votes for Spider-Man, 3 votes for the Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be the last pre-merge boot. It's either going to be Peter Parker or Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier.
The final person voted out of Australian Survivor Endgame Part 1, just shy of the merge, is...
Yeah.
Bucky Barnes, the winner.
So I didn't want to jinx it, but I was thinking about it when the votes for Bucky came in. It sort of makes sense. I think when you're looking for an individual game, I think Bucky is someone like, look, he's no Thor, but I do think he's someone who could become very dangerous, especially joining up with Cap. Since they've been separated the entire time. So I could imagine that they're like, let's get rid of him. But let's see who voted for the Winter Soldier, who ends up prevailing. So voting alongside Spider-Man were Hawkeye, Rocket, Star-Lord, so it's the Peter stuck together, and War Machine. So it looks like basically Rocket and his crew like joined up with Spider-Man and Star-Lord to get rid of Bucky here.
All right. Well, the great news about that is both Peters are still alive to meet Gamora at the merge. What will happen with the showmance in part 2? We also still have a lot of OG Avengers on the board in Thor, Hawkeye, and Captain America. War Machine holding it down as well. Shuri, who's been playing this game that may be very innovative. We're not entirely sure
Josh,
what her long-term plan is yet.
If you want to go to the next episode, we can actually get a full, if you go to like the merge thing, we can get a full look at who our remaining 12 people are. So
are the people who are still here. It's Hawkeye, Okoye, Rocket Raccoon, Shuri, Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Thor, War Machine, Captain America, Gamora, Nebula, and the Wasp. Those are the players remaining for part 2 of Australian Survivor Endgame.
And I feel like this is also very good, like pretty good representation. Like T'Challa's gone because he screwed up big time, but Okoye and Shuri are still there repping things. And obviously you have Star-Lord, Rocket, and Gamora. All Guardians representation is still, and Nebula. All Guardians have been able to make it through. We could maybe see a Guardians alliance take control of this post-merge.
Yeah.
So I think it was a very fun pre-merge. Insanely, I think the only vote was that unanimous vote against Okoye, where she wasn't actually voted out. Every other time has been like such a close vote, or just the bananas aspects of that Tony Stark Tribal Council. I have been extremely entertained by Avengers and Survivor Endgame so far, and I cannot wait to see what happens.
All right, Chappell, this is the first half of your first Survivor Brant Steele experience. What's shaping up to be the longest Survivor Brant Steele that I've ever done. At
the most ambitious Survivor Brant Steele of crossover event in history.
Yet. Your thoughts thus far, halfway into the proceedings?
I am stressed out. I don't know who I'm rooting for at any given time because I'm a big Bucky fan, but I needed him to go for my game. Because I'm rooting for Gamora.
If it has to be him or Spidey, like you kind of have to go with Spidey over him.
And I'm rooting for Gamora 100%. So I hated to see him go, but if Gamora can get a little bit further, I'd like to see her dominate this game.
I agree.
I'm worried about Captain America because he's got a good team, so he could be a good foil to her. As you said, the Guardians and the Asgardian, they're still there, so that's a automatic 5 people. Yep. So I'm completely stressed out, and I'm back in on Australian Survivor. I will watch it if it leads to this kind of stress. It's for me.
All right, so we are halfway through the Australian Survivor Endgame. I think that the plan here will be that we're hitting pause on it now, a cliffhanger, much like Avengers Infinity War into Avengers Endgame.
Or a cliffhanger, considering he's one of the people left.
We'll come back with part 2 very soon. We will plan offline exactly when that is going to come out, whether that will be next week or the week after. So just check out what we're talking about over at postshowrecaps.com. Twitter at postshowrecaps will make the announcement for what to expect next on Everything is Super in terms of whether the part 2 will come next or if we'll do the Infinity Saga review and then close out the Brant Steele. But either way, we will be back very, very soon. Chappell, we are recording this before it happens, but as people are listening to this, you have appeared on the Fear of the Walking Dead World Beyond podcast with myself and Jess Leese.
Yes, it was great.
we assume it was great. Chappelle's world tour continues as you are just participating in literally every single podcast on the planet.
That is true. I think Akiva said it's not a podcast if I haven't been on it, and I appreciate that. But like I said, eventually people are going to get sick of me, and I'm ready for the pitchforks and the torches to come out.
Not happening. Mike Bloom, you and Jess Leese have rejiggered the Star Trek podcast. That's back up. You've beamed aboard. The disco party is in full effect.
Yeah, Disco Ball's coming down. We did a preview of that, but episode 1 is coming out on Thursday, which depending on when this is coming out, either the episode's already out, hell, even our podcast might be out at this point, so be sure to check that out. Of course, you and I are going down the hatch as we make our way through the middle of season 3.
Enter 7-7 has happened at the time, or is about to happen at the time.
So as people's flames get extinguished on Survivor, we are exploring the Flame Station on Down the Hatch. And over on the reality TV side of things, since we have been discussing reality TV, covering Big Brother 22, covering The Amazing Race 32, which just premiered. But speaking of Australian Survivor, I actually did a very applicable podcast where I got on the line with Shannon Gus, Amy Chan, and Nick Iadanza, a 2-time Australian Survivor contestant in his own right. We did the first ever Australian Survivor think tank. You have just experienced a small drop of what twists Australian Survivor has instituted so far, and we come up with a few more ideas as to what they can do, both fielding them from the audience and our own brain. So if you're missing some Survivor stuff, and if this hasn't scratched your itch completely after 3 hours, definitely check that out in the Survivor main feed.
All right, check that out. Also, check out the Post Show Recaps Patreon program, postshowrecaps.com/Patreon or patreon.com/postshowrecaps. If you enjoyed these shenanigans, why not support these shenanigans by signing up for the Post Show Recaps Patreon? There are a lot of benefits for signing up. You get access to the bonus feed where we have 3 weekly podcasts just for patrons of Post Show Recaps. At the $5 level, at every level, you get that. Starting at the $10 level, you get access to the Post Show Recaps Discord, which is a ridiculous place, the Wild West. And it is a super fun time and about as ridiculous as Australian Survivor Endgame. So check that out if you're so inclined. Your support is greatly appreciated. We'll be back at some point in the near future with part 2 of Australian Survivor Endgame. Until then, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.